You know what? We'll get an audio check here. Hello, everybody. Sorry, we're still pressing buttons, getting things going. All right, we should be good on TikTok now. Where's OBS? All right, cool. We'll make sure everyone's volumes are good. What's up, everybody? We're here, and we have Zach with us. We were gonna play some new build stuff, but it's not ready yet. But we do have a bunch of new physics in the works we could talk about. You can ask Zach questions since you guys haven't talked to Zach yet. But yeah, I don't know. Brian, what do you got? Zach, say hi.
We've got some challenges coming for you, Joe, and an idea I want to throw by Zach here in a little bit, and you. What's up, Zach?
Hello. Nice, excited to be here. So I'm the main programmer for Cranked. Been working a lot in that game with Joe and Brian, and so far it's been super fun to be developing that game. So I'm pretty excited to be here for this live and answer any questions.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm just pulling up chats so that I can see everybody. Cool. Guys, let us know how the volumes are. I know now we've got Zach added, so let us know if anything needs to be adjusted, and hopefully I can figure out how to do it. It's getting more complicated with the more people we add, but here we are. Let's take a look at the leaderboards real quick. I'm 9th on Fika, 10th on Shred, 4th on that one, 8th. Okay, so we're worst on Shred. So we'll start there, unless anyone in chat wants to see something special. But otherwise, I'm just gonna play, and these guys can talk, and you guys ask questions, and we'll have fun. Zach is a little low. Zach, can you turn your volume up anymore, or is it up as high as it goes?
It's as up as it goes. I'm maxed on everything. So if you can hire me on OBS, Joe, is that possible?
Ooh, yeah, I can figure it out.
Thanks.
Nope, I can't. You're as high as it goes. It's all good. Brian, if you can lower yours a tiny bit and I can lower mine, and then I can boost us all together.
You got it, man.
Okay, Joe, I have a good news for you. That's a nice way to start a stream, right? Build worked.
Look
so
at
we
that.
can try the new physics.
Hell yeah.
Just in time, right? So I'm gonna send that to you.
Yeah, I think when you send it to me and I click the link, it's gonna. How could you send it to me? Can you send it to me in Slack?
On Slack.
Discord.
Yes, that's my plan.
Oh, I don't have. Do I have Slack downloaded? Never mind. Here.
My volume is down some, Joe. Let me know if you need me to make any other adjustments.
I have an idea. Sorry, guys, at the start of this is a little, we're getting things worked out. We want to get the new build because we have a lot of new physics things to talk about. If you can drop it in the Game Dev Archive builds folder.
On Google Drive, you mean?
On the shared Crank drive. Go to Crank and then Game Dev Archive, and then there's a builds folder. If you drop it in there, I can pull it out of there.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna run a couple on Shred while we get that fired up. But guys, we've got new physics, and we'll talk about all the changes. You guys will be testing them soon if you're on the Patreon. But as I play, Brian and Zach, feel free to.
Yeah. Zach, let me do a quick roll call. The folks I'm seeing hanging out with us, and then kind of turn it over to you and let you introduce yourself. This is the first time you've joined us here. Tails is good. Tails and Panda are here. These guys are on the challenge team. We're going to do some challenges for Joe later today, which is going to be fun. And those guys help me get that stuff sorted. Joey Kyber's back, I see. What's up, man? Natman is here, and Jan Lino. Yo, what's up? Welcome, Adam. Aaron, of course. Good to see you back, Adam. And Captain Jack's here, too. Good to see you, man. Mr. Josh. Yeah, we got a good crew so far. So Welcome, Zach. Thanks for hanging out with us today, man. It's been a while since I've seen you. And why don't you introduce yourself? Tell everybody who you are and what your role is on the Crank team.
Thanks, Brian. Hello, everyone. So, my name is Zach, and I am from France, so my English can be a bit, how do you say it in English? No,
Dude, your English is great,
I'm
man.
gonna try my best. I remember when I first joined the company, it improved, we can say that, right?
Definitely.
It was a bit hard to communicate at times, but since then it got better. I think I'm doing good for a Frenchman. You could put it that way. So yeah, I'm from France, but I live in Sweden actually. So I'm part of the Turborilla team, like a small studio. We've been doing a lot of mobile games so far. Now we're doing this spin-off called Session Syndicate, and we're making Cranked, and I'm super excited to be part of that because it's been my dream to make a premium PC game for so long. I've been dying to be doing that, like an actual prototype. And yeah, I mean, so far the development of Cranked has been super fun to be working on as a programmer. I've been working. I think I need to also say that I wasn't alone at all. Like I've been working with Elias, who's another programmer here at Turborilla. He's very cool guy and has been so important to the development of this prototype. Yeah, what can I say about me? I can speak Swedish now, which is
You can?
good. Yeah, kinda.
Nice, dude.
Can understand better than I can speak, but it's always like that when you start a language. But
Yeah.
at least they can't talk shit to me like in
You
secret.
just can pick up on it.
Yeah, I could, I think. So that's the good news. Yeah, but basically I've been like the funny part is that I've never really received an education in making video games because I think when I was 20 it was kind of non-existent, like 10 years ago basically. It wasn't so big, like the game development education, especially in France, I think. So I did like computer science education, uh, but I've been doing video games the whole time as a hobby, and that's what got me this position at Turborilla. So I've been playing with Unity since like what now, 12 years, and but I've started making a small RPG when I was even younger with a program called RPG Maker. If anyone knows about this one, that will send you back in times. Well, yeah. So that's a bit about me.
How long have you been
How
at
much have you
Turborilla?
played? What?
How long have you been at Turborilla?
I think it's getting a bit old now. I think 3-4 years.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think
Feels like
so. I
longer, dude. I
think
feel like I've
so.
known you longer than that.
Yeah, me too.
No, no, I think 4 years max. I think.
Hey, Tails, help me out.
So
Let me know if this volume is better. I don't want to have a volume louder than those guys, so I've turned it down a little bit. Let me know if I'm good, if I need to go up or down, please.
But Zach and I love working with Zach because Zach and I, this is kind of how, I mean, we're actually going to show you kind of live on the stream today how Zach and I work. Because what I'm going to do is he's going to get me this new build, I'll download it, and a lot of times with him and I will just, I'll either record a video of me playing, talking about it, or I'll just live stream it for him and we'll talk about it. But he'll make a build with a bunch of changes that we talked about, and then, you know, I'll test it, give him feedback. He takes that feedback, and you know, I think pretty much every time we've agreed so far, like I don't think there's been a time yet, Zach, on this project where you and I thought we wanted different things, and I feel like we're always on
I
the
think
same
we've
page.
had some debates, but that was good. Like I remember, like I was anti-right stick at
Oh yeah,
the beginning, and then you convinced me, and now I'm sold. So,
yeah.
but no disagreement on the vision, on the big picture at all. Like I think that's what is so good and that helped the game feels so good so far.
Yeah.
I think Yujo has this vision in your mind, like you know what you want, and that helps me so much because you're not like guessing as we go. I think you have a set vision of where you want the physics to be.
And he's a
Yeah.
master, in my mind, he's a master at sort of demonstrating that vision. Like he's so good at bringing in a YouTube video that shows you whatever it is that he's trying to say. You know, sometimes there's like something in the physics, and he's like, "Well, we need to kind of try to accomplish this." It's rarely vague in my view, Zach. I'll see how you feel about that. But he's always coming in with a video, and you can check it out here. And it seems like that resonates with you.
Yeah, definitely. No, I think, and there are so many ways of working. I think I would love to. I was talking to my girlfriend last time. Like, I need to go to the US at some point, pay you a
Absolutely,
visit,
dude.
guys, and that
we need to
like,
get you on a bike, man.
yeah, that too. But I mean, imagine like right now the only thing that's like I would love to be on the same time zones as you guys for a month or something like that. That would be so cool.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
Got a spare bedroom here, man. Come on over.
Yep.
Same.
That's it.
Dude, you
I wanna kind of do the work in them.
like a couple
Go ahead,
weeks
Joe.
at Brian's and then come do a couple weeks here. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
And when you're doing the couple weeks at my place, Joe, you can come up here. And when you're doing the couple weeks down there, I'm that way.
Big old party.
Gotta be fun. Laura would love it, man. She'd just
yeah.
love it so much. Joe's wife, Laura, she'd love it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even need to say anything to her, Joe. We'll just show up.
She's such an extrovert.
She's awesome, but she is an extrovert. I want to work in public in another way today, too. One thing that's happened, there's no way we could ever count how many times this has happened, that either Joe or I or somebody else on the team, oftentimes it was me or Joe or us together, would come up with an idea, some new thing that we think might work. And part of that process oftentimes includes talking to a dev. Neither Joe nor I code. So sometimes we have to go to a coder and say, hey, this is our idea. What would this take? This idea is really light on the coding side of things, but it does impact the game in a little bit of a way. So today we're going to emulate that process that the three of us have probably been a part of hundreds of times at this point in our careers. We're going to do it publicly. Okay. Zach didn't even know it's coming. So Zach, I'm going to drop something on you later and we'll see what you think about it. And I'd love to see, I also kind of want to see what anybody who's hanging out with us thinks about the idea. It sucks, we'll just kill it.
Build stream old map, is that the one I want?
Yes, it's uploaded build stream old map.
Joe is super quiet now for some reason. Joe, your mic is way down.
I saw that and adjusted it. Is this better, guys?
Okay.
I also need to make sure I talk close. If I'm like moving back here, it probably gets quieter.
Hopefully it's easier to focus on the microphone when you're not doing other things. When you're doing other things, especially rookies like us, it could be a challenge.
Guys, I'm just downloading the new build real quick.
I agree, Joe. Joe does have his elements of genius, Aaron. I'm gonna have to agree with that. I'm gonna catch up on some comments here real quick. Wow.
Definitely.
Last week, I tried to reply to every single comment that I saw. I tend to be a very inclusive person, always trying to make everybody around me feels like they're a part of it. It's just a part of my personality. But I find that if I do that in a scenario like this, it's all me talking like that all the time, and it kind of, especially with a lot of repeat questions over the course of hours, it's kind of too dominant, I think. So this time I'm going to try to pay attention to new questions and include new people I see who are participating. But if there are a lot of repeat questions as we go and anybody wants to answer those in the comments, that assist would be appreciated.
All right, new build.
Uh-oh.
Here you guys go. New physics. This is the new build now. So what I was playing before was old physics.
Wow. This is the first I've seen this.
First of all, wheelies. Ignore the looks. Oh, man. I hate that we can see this bike even more now. Wheelies feel way better now. So, you can land in wheelies better, which will show. You could see I'll be able to turn in a wheelie better. Well, maybe not. Maybe I suck at it right now. But I'm just gonna kind of free ride right now and not race just to get used to these physics on the new map. I might have to adjust my setting, my FOV setting. Also scrubs. Check this out. Oh wait, does this not have the? This is broke. Nah, this ain't the new. Oh, maybe there we go. Yeah, okay. Now we're good.
Yeah, you get the new scrub physics, but you need to go at least a little at some velocity to start scrubbing. Like if you're at rest, it doesn't do it.
FPS cap at 30. Get that out of here.
Zach, I've got something for you for whenever it makes sense to fit it in. Natman says that he played your first game on Game Maker when you were 14 years old, and I'm very curious about what your first game on Game Maker at 14 was. And if you know Natman, if you guys know each other, or if this is somehow coincidental.
Yes. Yes. I don't even remember.
Oh?
Yeah, Natman. Do you have a memory of the game, or what? Because
Did you make
that's
games
the
on
fun.
Game Maker?
Yeah, also like I've been doing it gradually, you know. Okay, first starting on RPG Maker, which is like super simple, but I was like what, like 11, 12 at the time, so I couldn't really code. It was a bit too advanced for me. But this program, it was genius. It would let you put, you know, drag and drop block, like logic elements like that, and then you could. That's basically how I learned to code. You know, by first doing it like with some sort of visual workflow. And then I felt it was too limited for me, so I went up to Game Maker because it was like the best next thing. And I've done a lot of like small games. I've never finished anything, I think. But and then I felt it was too limited, and then I went up to Unity. So I think if anyone here actually want to learn to make game, that's I think a really good way to do it, because you know you start with simple stuff, and then when you feel limited, you go to harder softwares, because sometimes, you know, if you boot up Unity, you never touched any program and stuff, like it can feel so overwhelming. So I think that's a nice way to do it. For me, it
Right
was
on.
pretty organic.
Natman says it was an RPG, if that helps you at all. Or maybe you're just
Yeah.
making so many games you can't remember all these games.
Yeah, and the memories. I think I was like mostly copying at the time, you know, like I would just take elements of. Yeah, I just remember a chicken in a chimney, said Natman. Like, you know, I played so many of the old Zelda, and I was making like, you know, a small RPG, and my quests were so lame, Brian. Like, I was like, I lost my chickens. Can you please fetch my 5 chickens? And that was the game. So,
You know what's cool about that, though? And first of all, you were a kid experimenting. I mean, almost every great coder I ever knew started that way. I have met some programmers who really didn't start until they went to college or to school of some kind, but so many of them just did it because they were called to do it. Sounds like that was the case with you. You were young, you saw this opportunity, you wanted to do it, and you just went for it. Now here you are making a living at it. It's cool, man.
yeah, that's pretty awesome. I'm super lucky to actually be paid for that, because it's not the case of many people, and like some talented people also can't make it, you know. So I feel very grateful for that. But yeah, the thing is that I remember as a kid, like I wanted to either be a game developer, because I loved video games, like a lot of people, like a lot of kids, or be a, like, what do you say, like a postman, like, you know, delivering the mail. And that was because they were doing it on bikes, and I loved bikes. And I'm like, I can ride bike.
That's
funny.
great. You weren't thinking I'm going to race, I'm going to be a professional racer. You were like, I'm going to be a mail carrier.
Yeah, you know, like driving bike, chill in the neighborhood.
Can you guys
Tail
tell
says,
spin
"Oh my
speed is
God, the
higher?"
manual." Sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
I was just saying, can you tell spin speed's higher? But look at the manual. Ooh,
Yeah.
baby.
I could tell spin speeds were higher on when you went over the greatest jump in the game a minute ago.
Oh yeah.
It seemed like it was moving faster. I thought it looked cool. Yeah, Tails is talking about how good the manuals look. He's super pumped about it. Obviously, I can tell by watching you play, Joe. You are too. So
See if I
Panda
can
says
land
looks
in one
way
here.
smoother and flowy.
Oh, kind of did.
I think you did. Sometimes it's a bit hard with the first person to really like see did my front wheel touch the ground or not. But
Joey
Obviously,
says
once we
he's
get
not a
the-
game dev. Go ahead, Joe.
I was just say once we get the new bike and rider in that Maggie's working on, it's gonna look even better. And we'll fix it so the bodies aren't all sliced up.
Heck yeah.
Zach, I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. But first, Brian, go ahead and read through some questions and chat.
I was just going to say, Joey mentioned that he's not a game dev, but he built Joey Kyber, he hung out with us before. Stoked to see you back. He did build a 3D game engine from scratch with TypeScript and web GPU a year ago. Said it was tough, but fun. Sounds tough to me. I wouldn't know where to begin to do something
It
like
sounds
that.
tough to me too, actually. So, man, that's impressive, Joey.
McKay's pumped, said that runs are going to get a lot more stylish now, and that seems kind of clear to me too, frankly.
Let's go back here on the new one.
Harpy's back. What's up?
Also, let's first talk about like a rundown of everything. You tell us a rundown of all the new changes in this build for what people are seeing, and I'll try to demonstrate them as you talk about them.
Yep. So I think since the last build that was available to the patrons, we've done quite a lot of changes, and mostly on physics. It was like we wanted to do big pass on the physics, improve a lot of stuff. So on the top of my mind, like we changed the traction, like the grip on the floor was ridiculous before. Like you could do crazy stuff. That was,
try to demonstrate.
you know, we don't want, yeah, like exactly. You get some sort of a drift now, and also the drift will be depending on the material. So basically, on grass you will drift a bit more, and then on rock, wood, you get a better grip. But yeah, like this exactly. So now you actually slide if you are on the grass, and I think that's super welcome because
that was a good example right there.
Yeah, because before it was, I mean, you know what Joe said, like a lot, like we want to be between arcade and simulation, but I felt, and I think that's why Joe asked me to work on that it was a bit too arcadey when it came to grip, at least, that you could do like crazy stuff being on the side of a super steep slope on the grass and like just go forward like this. So I think that's one of the first thing I changed. Like you also can, depending on the material. So now we can like tweak it depending on what you ride on. So that's very welcome too. Then I think the next big change is the wheelie. So now you can. Before I think the wheelie was a bit. I mean. It worked, but it wasn't working really well. It was very hard to land on a wheelie, for example. So we changed that, and we also made so it's a bit more realistic. You can lean backwards a little bit more than before. Like before, we had like this very crude way of detecting crashes. That meant that suddenly, if your back, like part of the back, touched the ground, like the rider would explode. And so we changed that for a better crash detection system, and that helped a lot with getting the wheelie to be better, to feel better, and to be able to land on a wheelie, which I think was very much requested.
Spin speed.
Then we changed this. Yeah, the spin has been touched too.
How fast is it now?
We made it a little faster, but not only. And I think that's where it's interesting. It's that like again, like in proper simulation with your bike in the air, you couldn't change your rotation. Like once you've input a rotation and you're in the air, you commit to it, right? But we want you to get a bit more control in our case. Like we don't want this purely simulation feeling. So we want you to be able to steer yourself a little bit in the air and to change your direction, like to for example, to get a better landing position. But like to find a good balance, what we ended up doing was that as you take off, you have more control over your yaw, pitch, and roll in the air. But as time passes, you have less and less power over your over those three parameters. So that means that if you want to do a 360, for example, you have to start as you take off, and then you get a lot of spin, then you get a lot of momentum. But if you're in a super big gap and mid-air you start spinning, then you won't be able to commit as much to a spin. I think that's a good system because it's like in the middle between arcade and simulation, like being able to mid-air starting doing crazy spins would be a bit too much arcadey. But here, like I think we found a good middle ground
Here we
with
go.
this
I'll
system.
just jump and then start.
Yeah,
it's
then
slower. It
it's
probably needs to be even slower.
much slower. Yeah. But at least the system is here now. Now we can tweak it. Yeah, so we have that.
The scrubs. Did you talk about scrubs yet?
Let me
No,
just kind of
that's good.
quickly say, guys, that I'm going to try to get to any comments that I see, but because we have new physics and we're seeing them for the first time, we'll focus on that for a minute. But I will come back to any comments from before. So go for it, Zach.
Yeah, the scrub. No, it's. I think that's the last part, right? That we have been working on during this week. So basically now, before when you were on the ground and you start leaning with the right stick, using the right stick to lean like on the side. I was a bit shy to make you lean and commit to a scrub, like to be able to scrub a jump. And now we have basically cranked up that value, so you can do more serious scrubs than the physics allowed you to do before, and hopefully that can also help you like lower your some jumps and get better times. So that's also one thing we did. And is that it, Joe, or am I forgetting stuff?
I think that's probably everything I remember. But this is interesting for me because this is the first time I'm playing on a proper build, not in Unity. When I play in Unity on my Mac, it's hard for me to get like good times. I can't do it well, so it's hard for me to compare old physics to new physics. So like doing some races here will be the first time we'll really get to compare. I have a feeling that new physics are going to be a touch slower just because of the traction slip and some other things, and like the grass being more slippery. So if you go off track, it's going to affect you. We can see here I'm already 3 seconds down. And the other night I was playing, I was like ripping on this track. So I feel like I have this track kind of dialed. But we'll see. We'll probably do this build. What I think I want to do, Zach, is like when we release this build to Patreon, don't wipe the leaderboards yet and let people compare old physics to new physics times or whatever. Just because I think that's interesting. And then eventually I think we should wipe the boards because I think it will be slower. But we'll see. That was 4 seconds slower. Let's see what my best times of the day will be.
Yeah. So that answers you, Captain Jax. He's commented, this sounds like a leaderboard reset in the next prototype.
Yeah.
So we'll keep it like the boss of them for a little. But I agree with you, Joe. I think they will be a little slower.
I think like give them 24 hours with the new build before we reset, and then I think reset them. Gives people time to.
So Panda and Harpy are both feeling like you're, and maybe you saw this and adjusted, but they're both feeling like your mic's still a little bit low.
Mine's low. Brian,
I'm getting that from a couple of people. That's what I'm getting from a couple of people. Yeah, that your mic is a little bit low.
I got you guys. There we go. Boosted it. Let me know if that's better.
I can hear it better through my headphones.
I mean, it's feeling better. Also, the other thing, maybe you mentioned this because I was playing and not paying attention, but the way the body, like the weight shift of the body, even like visually, I feel like you improved that, right?
True. We forgot to say about this. This is actually a big change that was actually requested. I remember being on the Discord and some people were like, oh, when you're on your bike, you go back and forward with your body, and before that wasn't there. So with the left stick, if you go up and down, it would pitch. It would make you go up and down, but the mass of the body of the rider wouldn't do it before. And now that we have added that, that's part of the reason why the wheelies are much better, because your center of mass, for example, if you lean backward, your center of mass gets closer to your back wheel, and of course then your front wheel snaps to the ground a little less, like you're less at risk, like your center of mass gets closer to your back wheel. So that's why the wheelies are much better. But I think, and that's going to be interesting, because now that we have this these new physics in place with the body of the rider moving back and forth, we might find new emergent way. For example, the bunny hop could be a little different if you engage that stick too.
It is different.
Maybe
a little bit.
scrubbing. Yeah. So I'm excited to see what people will find with these new settings. I think it will be interesting.
So it's pretty consistent, 4 seconds slower than my best time. We'll see if that improves throughout the day here, but I'm ooh, that's better. I think I like that it might be slowed down a little bit. I think before it was getting a little wild, especially the top guys like you, Tails, and Jax. I don't know how you say your name with your weird letters, but I call you Jax.
I call him Jakes.
Jake.
I've been meaning to ask him for clarification.
This time seems better, but yeah, I'm kind of happy that things are going to be slowed down a little bit. I felt like things were getting a little wild.
Speaking of which, we have a comment from TikTok. I don't think he's with us anymore, but Tor with Tyson says the game looks way too fast. Slow the rider down, add technical features, and allow multiple line options. Kind of guessing this is the first time he's seen it, maybe. But what do you have to say about that, Joe or Zach?
Yeah, I'll say it depends on the track. This track's obviously kind of fast and flowy. But yeah, we got tons of tech tracks, slow stuff. We'll have crazy tech on the new map. We'll have all that good stuff. The scrubs feel so good now, guys. Quit doing. We're gonna fix it so you can't be doing this cheesy jumping off the side of jumps nonsense. We're gonna put
Like
the
you
track
do all the
markers-
time.
Yeah, because it's the meta now. But we're gonna fix it so it's not the meta. Because if we put the track markers on the top of the takeoffs, you won't be able to do that, and it'll force you to scrub. And the scrubs are actually like really good now. Yep. They need to look better, but that'll come once we get all the new bike rider stuff in there. But it's already feeling like I feel like the scrubs you can scrub way deeper now. For those of you who want a tip, I think one way to do it too, if you want to do a super deep scrub, you need to incorporate both sticks. And then what you kind of need to do is like aim the opposite way you're going to scrub, because then when you scrub, you're actually going to like turn off the face a little bit. But if you don't want to do a huge scrub, you just want to do a little scrub, just use mostly the right stick going up the face. And then right at the last second, you flick in the other stick, and that makes you turn less, but you still get a pretty decent scrub. So, you can kind of like mess around with how much you use both stick to determine how deep of a scrub you want. Also, like how early do you lean on the face. So the scrubs are feeling pretty nice.
It's Jax.
Jax.
The pronunciation. You were right. I was wrong.
Hell yeah. Captain Jax.
That's it.
But yeah, you can see here, guys, when everyone does this bunny hop in the beginning, you can see, you might be able to tell now that like I'm bringing the front end up higher. It's because the way the physics change, it kind of changed all that stuff. But I'm trying to get used to it.
Let me just kind of drop a little bit of base info, guys. We have some people here who I haven't seen before. So we are a company called Session Syndicate. This is Joe at the top. He's the game director. Zach is the programmer on the project. At this point, the only programmer. He did have Elias helping him previously. And I'm a consultant and one of the founders of the company. And this game is currently in the prototype stage. You can play it now if you subscribe to our Patreon. Even the lowest subscription option on Patreon, which is $5 a month, would get you the current build and any other builds that come out in that first month, and you get to keep those builds no matter what. Also, you get to just participate in the development. I think the people who are a part of this would tell you that we're very open, and we kind of bring everything to the public. We're sort of doing a design and public approach to this whole project. And as far as will it come to console, it's PC and Mac right now. It's even running quite well on my just sort of basic M2 MacBook. Usually I play it on medium settings. I don't play it on the highest visual settings, but it runs well. And then we do want to bring it to console. That's the plan. We just have to make sure that things work well in the PC side of things. So we're going to try to get that right first, and if all goes well, we will bring it to console after that. Let's quick catch up on some of the basics.
Yeah,
Because
and I
it would
guess,
be a fantastic console game.
dude, I can't wait.
I mean, it's made to be played with a controller anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think as we develop PC, and I think we've been doing this, and I think we'll keep doing this, like it's one of those games, even on PC, it's been developed for a controller, and all the menus are going to work. So I think once we do get to the point where we need to port it to console, hopefully it's not too difficult, because I want to try to keep everything, even on PC, kind of controller friendly. I don't want like half the menus to need a mouse or anything like that, you know?
Oh, no, I agree.
We have another comment asking if you're playing on 2x speed. It's pretty common, actually, that people who haven't played the game feel like it looks quite fast, and it does look quite fast if you haven't played it. You'd mentioned one time before, Joe, that you're kind of going for the realism of the game is more toward the way it feels when you ride than like technical realism. And I guess if you're really flying on a track, it feels really fast. Would you say that's kind of what you're going for in this, Joe? And also, I will make the comment that when you actually play the game, it's way more responsive and you have way more control despite the speed than you might think if you haven't tried it. But Joe, I'll let you take that from there.
So I just changed the FOV too, because that really changes how the game feels. So it's kind of up to the player to set up their camera the way they want. Also, when we add third person, you know, that'll third person naturally feels slower. Yeah, we've had a lot of people say before it looks really fast, slow it down, and then as soon as they play it, they go, never mind, feels great, it's perfect. It looks faster than it feels, and we kind of wanted it that way. You know, when you're racing in real life or you're doing some crazy downhill run, things are coming at you quickly, you get tunnel vision, you're locked in. You know, we want it to feel like quick to react. The thing is, the game is so responsive. Like, everything you tell the game to do, it does. And it's never the case of, like, you're getting frustrated because you did something and the game didn't listen and you feel like the animation was lagging behind or something. Like, it's very snappy, responsive. So it can be fast. Other games, I think, can't be because, you know, it's not as responsive and snappy. So it's fast. You kind of get that tunnel vision. You're flowing. You're hitting your line choices. Depending on how you change the FOV. Like, look, if I crank this thing all the way to max now, it's probably going to feel even faster. You know, so I don't know. I think give it a shot, but also a big part of it is just kind of how you change your settings. But we want it to feel, you know, we want that thrill and excitement of racing and kind of going fast. You know, watch some POV view runs of like UCI downhill pros. I mean, it's fast, it's crazy. Some of the stuff they do is just gnarly, you know.
Yeah, and I like the thing about the difference between the feeling and the realism. For example, let's say you make a fishing game. I think that's a really good example.
Yeah.
It would be realistic to wait 2 hours in game and get nothing, right? That if you want to go for a simulation, that should be it. That sometimes you wait for 2 hours in the game. But what a game would that be, right? I think that this gives a good example why a good fishing game should be a bit unrealistic to give you this feeling of fishing and not the actual you get me.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a few comments from our players who are part of the Patreon, just kind of saying, yeah, it's you know, acknowledging that it looks really fast, and then when you play it, you're like, oh, okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're watching but you haven't played yet, like I said before, you could check it out. It's $5, and that gets you this build and anything else we do in the next month, and you can try it out yourself and see. And obviously, if it's not for you, just stop subscribing.
Yeah, this build I'm on now isn't out, but if you subscribe today, you'll definitely get this build within the next month, probably by next week, I would say. Zach, what do you think?
I like it. I think I want it to be out as soon as possible because
Nice.
I don't know, you playing it, Joe, I feel like we could tweak a few things, but it feels pretty good, right?
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think needs to be? Let's talk about that. What do you think should be tweaked? And I'll give you my input next.
I think maybe, as you said, like slowing down the spin in mid-air a little more.
I think even maybe, are we going to change it to where, because we were talking yesterday how you weren't sure if you liked the way it gradually slows down over time. Are we keeping that, or are you going to tweak it?
No, that is tweaked already. So if you start to spin as you take off, you should keep that momentum. Like you should spin really fast and not slow down after some time.
And that you already
But
fixed?
yeah, that is fixed already. But if you're mid-air and you start spinning after 1 second, I think right now it's still a bit too...
Way too fast, dude. I think you should turn it to like 5 or something.
Exactly. So I think I want to tweak that more. So while mid-air, you still get less power to start a spin.
Like I think, let me try to like replicate what I would like to look. I'm gonna try to get to these bottom jumps because you need to have some. You need to be able to move it around a little bit to like like you were saying, like adjust for your landing and all that stuff. So it needs to be reactive. But I think it could almost even be that it kind of lets you do that at like 45 degrees left or right, and then once you start like moving past that, it's even harder. Because we want it to feel good in terms of like whipping the bike around, but we don't want it, to be able to do like a complete 360 mid jump. Let's see if I can like show you kind of what I think it should be like almost like that speed.
Yeah.
Because right now, can you guys, those of you who've played this a bunch, and I see a Descenders 3 comment, I'll tell you how this differs from Descenders in a minute. Those of you who've played a bunch, can you see the traction difference? Like, are you guys noticing it on the stream or not really? Curious what you say. Curious your thoughts. Descenders 3. So yeah, right now, Descenders, we love Descenders, played a bunch of Descenders myself. I think for a while that was like the main, kind of like the only mountain bike game we had, it seemed like. But Descenders, I've been riding bikes a long time. I mean, I've been riding bikes my whole life. Mountain bikes for maybe 15, 16 years now. Started on BMX, went to mountain bike when I started getting older. But I never got like vibes of real, like the kind of mountain biking I do or me and my friends do. I never got those kind of vibes from any game on the market. I feel like most games on the market, they're the big open highways, almost more like the trail we're on now. I should go to a tech trail and show you guys what we want to be doing. But it didn't resemble real riding where you're going through forest with rocks and roots and, all that kind of stuff. It's more like these big flowy jump lines. And I know this isn't all inclusive and there's like Descenders tracks that aren't like that, blah, blah, blah. But, we really wanted to capture a game that has like more tech, more vibes of real riding, single track, crazy, all the kind of stuff that you would see in real life. And we were trying to make it feel good on all those materials. The other thing is this game's a lot more responsive and grounded than other games. A lot of games are like pretty slippery, especially Descenders. So it's a different vibe. But the other big thing is we're really focused on racing and first person. Like first person was our priority. That's why we're only focused on first person right now. We wanted to dial that in before we even started on anything else. Because I think if you're making a racing game that's about line choice, tech riding, first person's a must. Because you need to be able to see your front tire. You need to be able to see where you're putting that front tire. The rocks and the roots and all the little bumps in this game affect you massively and slow you down. So avoiding one rock, could be 1/10 of a second at the end of your run. So you need to be able to like have first person good, be able to see the front tire, be able to pick your lines, choose your lines. Like we can ride all this stuff and I'm in control. I mean, it's rough, but I'm in control. Zach can talk later about the physics and how how him and Elias designed these to be able to work on this kind of stuff. Obviously there's still work to be done. This has only been 3 months. I know this isn't the fast line, but we'll take it because that's the intended line. So yeah, anyway, that was a long ramble to basically say this game feels nothing like any other mountain bike game. The feedback we've been getting from testers, and my favorite feedback that we ever get is when people say this game feels more like real riding than any other game I've played. And we've had that feedback a bunch. And that's what we were going for. We just wanted to give you the feels of like you're on a real bike. Doesn't mean we're going for like ultra realistic, hardcore simulator, because it's very easy to pick up, but I think it's also very easy to ride a bike. It's not super hard to hop on a bike and ride it. So, easy to pick up, but it is hard to master, just like, being a pro mountain biker is in real life. But that's kind of the gist of everything is you're in more control. It's all free physics. There's no like canned animations, like all these flips and whips and scrubs and all the movement is just me with the 2 sticks. Yeah, feels completely different from any other mountain bike game out there, I think. But people in the chat who've played can also weigh in on their opinions.
You know, when you ask people if they notice if you like the grip the new grip settings, yeah, most people said yes.
Nice.
They do notice it,
Yeah.
and I can say I notice it too, like only visually, and I think it looks much better, honestly.
Yeah, I'm noticing it right here. This is the track I've ran the most, and like this beginning start, I have my muscle memory just is dialed, and I usually hit it perfect every time. And the fact that I'm not hitting it perfect now, it just shows you how much it's changed. You can tell I'm like slipping around more than usual, and definitely makes the game a little harder. But still, look, there you go. Now I'm getting the hang of it. So still, I think it's better for sure. The next step, Zach, we probably want to work on is like making crashes. Well, maybe not next, but at some point, I need a burp. Sorry. At some point, we need to make crashes more realistic. Like, I don't think you should be able to land at like a 90-degree angle like this and survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Isaac on TikTok has a really good question, and I think both you guys would have a different perspective on this. The question is, what's the biggest challenge in developing this game so far?
It's a great question. Zach, take it away with yours, and then I'll answer mine.
I would say the boring answer is money, and the fun answer is physics. So I'm gonna talk about the physics a little bit. I'm trying not to go into the details, but basically, imagine like most of what people do when they try to make a video game like this is that they would try to simulate. They would try to make the physics of it, like by making like the wheels and everything like that. Like that's the thing you would do for a car game, for example. But the big difference between a car and a bike is that a car is stable at rest. Like if you don't touch a car, it stays where it is. If you don't touch a bike, it flips over. You have like right now, like the physics of bike is not solved by scientists. Like they're still arguing about what is really making the bike stands upright and stuff like. So it's not completely solved, at least. So that gives you a little idea about how hard it is to really understand what a bike is doing and why it's often a bit wonky. Like take GTA, for example. They have like amazing car physics, but the bike is always a bit janky, and that's not because they're bad at their job at all. It's because it's crazy hard. So we've took a different approach for this game, like going out of the simulation stuff, because what you do with your body as a rider is so complex that simulating it would be way too difficult. And we tried for something that is I don't know how to describe it, but the idea is that we make you float a bit over the ground. That's the secret sauce, actually, is that your bike is more like a hover bike than a real bike. But that basically solved a bunch of stuff for us. So yeah, basically not getting too much into the details, but the idea is that we had to give the illusion of a bike. And for example, when someone is like, oh, can we make the suspension travel more and that kind of stuff, I need to understand what they mean and translate it into the illusion. And that's the fun part about this job, I think, is that we're making an illusion of a bike, and that's why I think it feels pretty good right now. So that was my answer. The most challenging stuff, physics. You, Joe?
You mentioned money too. I'll just jump in real quick and say, obviously we're bootstrapping. We don't have the kind of money that a lot of devs have. Obviously a challenge for lots of reasons. I'm not going to pretend like it's not, but it is also an opportunity. Because if you don't have a whole bunch of extra money, you really have to be careful about every decision you're making. Put extra time in and making sure that you understand who you are and what you're trying to accomplish, what your ideals are. Focus on what's most important and not get distracted by things that are less important. Kind of keeps you honest a little bit. I'm just saying, maybe this is me looking for a silver lining or making myself feel better. I don't know, but every decision we've made so far, we think, okay, is this definitely the smartest thing to do? I think that's not a bad thing, Zach. My take.
Hmm.
Joe, what's the most
Yeah.
challenging thing for you so far?
Oh, that's a good question. I
The
guess I
bike
should have
is a
been.
lie. Natman says the bike is a lie. It's a rotten, filthy lie right now. Could not agree more.
It
Too
is a
far.
lie. If you
That's
could
my
look
favorite
at the,
comment about the bike so far, I think.
I mean, one day I will show the Unity stuff. I mean, it's too fun to look at what is actually happening.
Yeah. And I think going into more detail without, I guess even if other developers were watching our streams and took all our secrets, whatever.
Elijah Joe's playing the game, FYI. Go ahead, Joe.
Nice. What do I think's been the most challenging thing? I think, man, I don't know. For me, like the getting the game to feel like this hasn't been challenging. I tell Zach and Elias like my thoughts, and I feel like the next day they have a build, and it's like, oh, cool, it feels how I wanted it to feel. Like
I can
that
answer it
part
for you, Joe.
Yeah, go
Swedish
ahead.
Vacation.
Yeah,
Swedish Vacation has been the hardest thing for you so far.
That was the hardest thing for me. I think like having a month where like nothing was getting done other than like what me and Antgrass could do was just like kind of painful, especially like right after we kind of launched the Patreon. That was tough. I also think for me the tough part is going to be me like juggling all my roles. My title's technically game director, but basically means I just do everything everyone else can't do, I guess. I don't know. Like I'm doing, managing the team, managing kind of the production schedule, the whole game design, the vision of the game, all that, managing the Patreon, managing social media, creating content for social media, editing all the content, like all of these things, plus probably things I'm forgetting. I think the hard part for me is going to be like, prioritizing what's most important. I can't spend full-time job on all of those things. It's impossible. So I think for me that's going to probably be the hardest part of developing this game, is just I've got a lot of responsibilities and I got to juggle them wisely.
Cool. Good question. Later today we're going to do some challenges. We've got some challenges I've been working on with some of the crew on Patreon and Discord, and we're going to see if we can give Joe some fun things. He's got these new physics, so we'll let him play with those for a while. Actually, I wonder how the new physics might affect some of the challenges too.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm making the game look bad, you guys, but I'm just trying to get used to these new physics. That's the thing about this game, is sometimes people comment and say like, oh, the whips look bad or this looks bad. It's like, it's the person who played made it look bad, because you can, you're in control. I mean, obviously we have a lot of work to do for like the bike and the rider and some of the animations and stuff, but a lot of it depends on the player. Like there's players who look stylish and there's players who don't. Like just like in real life, your style kind of comes through your riding, which I think is cool. And you can do that when you have games like this, or like BMX Streets, or maybe like Skater XL or Session, or some of those games that give you more freedom of movement and freedom to do your tricks the way you want, instead of games where it's just a bunch of canned animations. When you have games like that, everyone kind of looks the same. But when you have games like this where, everything's kind of free physics, that's the fun part, is everyone has their own unique style, and it comes out in the gameplay.
It's not going to be free, Elijah. It's a paid premium game, but we are going to strive to always offer it at a fair price and make sure we're providing a lot of value. That includes the Patreon even. Right now you can get the game for as little as $5 a month on Patreon, and we take seriously our responsibility to make sure we are providing a value of at least that much to players. I know a lot of people are dropping $5 a month right now and playing for hours every month. I think that's a great value. So, but no free, man. Free to play games are a thing, and we've made them for years. You got to make them in a different way. You generally have to have ads or microtransactions to make that happen, and we're against both of those things in this game. Otherwise, making the type of game we want to make for free is the easiest way I can think of to just immediately go out of business. So no, we're not going to do that. We want to keep making this game for a while and actually make it work. We have to charge something for it to pay for everything we're trying to accomplish. So yeah,
I feel like everyone wants free until it exists. Like look at Skate 4. I know it's called Skate. Everyone calls it Skate 4. dude, it's getting destroyed right now, like online, because it's free to play. I mean, people are calling it like a glorified mobile game. Like, I don't think the consensus on the new skate game is positive, and I think it's because it's a free to play game with a bunch of BS in it. So yeah, I think people think they want free, and then when it actually comes out, they're like, actually, no, I'd rather spend $25 and just get everything, not have to think about all the scammy nonsense inside the game.
Joe is playing Steez, and also welcome. Thanks for coming by.
Guys, there won't be any
Buddy
world record
says,
runs today, not with the new physics. Sorry.
Buddy says, have y'all taken a look at Stunt Boost on Steam? Seems similar. Think some features could do well. Do you know that game, Joe? Or Zach?
Stunt Boost? No, never heard of
Stunt
it.
Boost.
Nope.
We'll check it out, man. Thank you.
Yeah, write that one down. I did check out that other one that someone recommended on the last stream. Whoa. Tried to scrub on the rock, but the rock is so grippy, it just like... Already been an hour. Do we want to do a challenge? We're an hour in, Brian.
We ready? Yeah, I think so. All right, let's bust out. I've got a few of them queued up here. I wanted to watch you play with the physics for a while. And I want to stick with one of the skill-based ones I mean, they're all skill-based to some extent. A couple of these we don't have fully developed. The one Tails kind of came up with, I want to spend a little more time with, so we'll leave that alone. Let's start with one that Tails and I kind of did together, Joe. It's easy to do. It's easy to understand. Here's the gist of it. You just got to complete Fika break in 1:30 or less. But you have to go through every other set of markers. So every other marker you have to be on the set of markers, you have to be on the outside of the marker.
That's ridiculous.
You can decide whether you start going in them or outside of them on your first one. It's up to you. Whatever you decide, you have to alternate as you go down. And if you are set to be outside a marker and the marker is like on the corner of a jump and it's not really possible to be on the outside of it, you can still go with that rhythm, but you just have to ride through the marker in that case. That's the gist of the thing. 1:30. So you're in, now you got to be out, in. Nope.
This is hard.
That's the deal. Let's see how it goes. In. Nope.
I think I want to go out, in, out, in, out.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, that counts.
It's going to be hard to keep track of whether you're good or not.
No, that was
two ins in a row.
That's the hard part.
I know.
I got to say it out loud. Out, in, out.
Yeah.
In, out, in.
Tails is saying
Out.
new grip might make this challenge harder, though, and I think he's right.
In,
I think you might need brakes on this one, some.
in. Nope.
Nope.
Dude.
Does he have a time?
1:30.
1:30. Okay, nice.
Yeah. Tails, remind me what you managed to pull after doing this for a little bit. What your time was? I forget. Yeah, Panda, we just now started the challenges. We're doing in and out challenge first, and that's the only one I've mentioned so far. Out, in, out, in. Oh, yep, out, in. There you go. Out, in, out, in. You found the line. Out, in, out, in, out, in. Uh-oh. Yep, out.
Oh,
shit.
I'm finding it.
Losing grip.
In. I just want to see. Was I supposed to go out there? I don't remember.
Thanks for the assist on this one, by the way, Tails. Obviously I could not have vetted this one very well because I suck so bad at this game.
Oh, I got to be out there.
Compared to the rest of y'all.
In there, out there. Out, in. Oh, this one will be tough. Out. Yeah, I'm going to have speed here to hit that out.
Hey Zach, at what point in your life did you kind of go from thinking like I'm interested in making games to I'm going to make a career out of this? Was that something you decided early, or did you get into making games as a hobby first, and eventually you thought you would see if it was try to pursue it as a career? How'd that go for you?
That was very random. I studied a bunch of weird stuff. I studied like marine biology. I have a I have a bachelor's degree, so ask me anything about the dolphins,
All
I
right.
can answer. Then I studied genetics, man. I don't know, I think it's good for a lot of people to study stuff. I mean, we're lucky to get free education in France, at least a pretty solid one, pretty solid universities. So, I tried a bunch of different stuff, but I was always making game on the side as a hobby. And 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 then I went to Sweden, but it was completely random, Brian. Like, I think it would frighten some people if they're into controlling what happens to them in their life. Some people have big plans, and I respect that, but that's not my case, man. And I was like traveling in Sweden sleeping in a van, but like the camper van, pretty nice. And I was, I quit my job. I wanted to just be on the road for a few months. And then I ended up in Sweden during COVID, like second wave or something, like a bit surprised. And then I got locked in Sweden. I couldn't travel any borders. So I was there with my camper van in Sweden. It was starting to get cold. It was like September or something. And I was like, okay, but then maybe I'll spend the winter in Sweden. That sounds awesome. But then I needed an apartment, of course. Can't spend the winter in your camper van in Sweden. Then I need to find an apartment. And I was like, okay, I need a little bit of money. So I started applying to random companies, where I was in Sweden, in this town called Umeå. And there was an ad for joining Turborilla, the company I'm working in right now. And I applied, and they said yes, but that was very random what brought me there. And then I stayed, and then now I moved to Sweden, and I'm staying there. So you never know what's gonna happen.
You never know.
This was
No,
hard.
and then Natman said, "When will you add dolphin and marine life in Cranked?" So Joe, that's a question for you.
I mean, I definitely want animals.
Yeah, I think we're gonna add some wildlife. Dolphins will need to wait, but rabbits, bears, foxes.
Dude, we do have that
would
like
be
lake out there. Just have dolphins like jumping out of it.
Yeah.
There you go. I
Yeah,
think you
Turns
can
into an
do this,
ocean.
Joe. I feel like you're getting better at it, and you're figuring out the line. I think it's cool that you have to think of a completely different line through it, a ridiculous one, obviously, but
Yeah. Yeah, it's
you
hard.
think you can do
Mackie
it?
says
Yeah,
secret
I don't know.
underwater trail.
I haven't even finished a race yet.
And cows blocking the trail. I think animals blocking trails would be kind of cool, but I don't know, if you get a bit competitive, maybe you might want to be able to turn that off.
I also don't want it like it to ever be possible to hit an animal. So
No.
even if we had them blocking the trail, I think that'd be cool. But I
Yeah.
think you should be able to keep riding, and like a bird in a car, it just gets out of your way.
I think that's a good.
Yeah, we're not looking for animal
That's a
abuse
good
up in
way
our
to do it.
game.
I'm getting
Greg Albertine, the
confused.
motocross racer, once hit a deer on the track, if I'm not mistaken. I
Damn.
think that's true. I think it was Albie who hit the deer. And I clipped one on my Triumph one time. That shit was scary. And a turkey one time too. Flying across the road about a foot in front of me when I was going 70. That was scary.
Taylor said, "Will each new proto reset the leaderboard?" I think it would be depending on how much we tweak the physics, basically. like every time we do a massive change to the physics, we will reset the leaderboards, and maybe we'll just reset them from time to time to keep them fresh.
Nice, Joe.
I mean, in the final game, we want to have leaderboards to be a bit. Oh, nice, Joe. Like,
So I think the time of 1:30, maybe we're gonna adjust this one to finish. Like finish the run, in and out. Maybe is the way to go.
It's hard for me to try to like go fast. I don't know.
Natman makes a good point that mountain whales are an endangered species, so we can't be
can't run them over.
creating trail kill out of them, you know. I'm going to answer some questions. Another round. The game is out in the prototype stage. Ben, it's you can get it on our Patreon if you search for Cranked on Patreon or check out the bios of our social medias. You'll find a link. And the smallest subscription of $5 gets you every build that we release during your subscription period, and you get to keep those builds no matter what. And if you accumulate a total of $50 worth of spend through our Patreon throughout the course of the campaign, you'll get a key for the final game on Steam when it comes out. And we don't know how much it's going to be ultimately. We haven't really gotten that far. We've kind of guessed somewhere around $30, but we're not sure. We're going to wait and see how things go and try to make a good decision when the time comes. Agree. We do want to add some real parks and tracks in the future. Musty, if we get that opportunity. We did that a lot in Mad Skills Motocross, and we want to be able to do it here. We're not quite that far into this project yet, but it's something we want to do. And yeah, it's a couple people asking if it's free. It's not a free game. It's going to be a paid game, but it'll be a reasonable price. Chaz says just play Descenders because it's free.
Descenders isn't free unless you're on Xbox Games Pass. But also totally different games, totally different feel, totally different vibe. If you want more freestyle, kind of fun, flowy, crazy, arcadey, big jumps, big gaps, Descenders. If you want competitive racing, fun exploration, a big open world environment, probably Cranked. I think they're both
Joe,
cool,
how
and I think
would you feel?
they'll both cater to different audiences. Is what I think.
Mm-hmm.
What were you gonna ask?
Yeah, how would you feel about getting in the Game Pass if we ever get to that point? Would you be happy about that?
I think so. I think it makes it more accessible, and that's kind of one of the things. Our goals of this game is to make it more accessible, not only in gameplay, but also like, be able to get the game, run it on your rig, and afford it, and all that stuff. So, whatever would make more people be able to play, I think ultimately is what I want. But I don't know.
If anybody
the deal, I don't know how that deal kind of works.
Yeah,
if anyone just tuned in, Joe is trying to complete a challenge where he only goes through every other set of markers. That's what he's doing right now. Originally, we said in a minute 30, but now we've revised the challenge to be just survive it until the finish line. See if you can pull it off.
Yeah, Natman said some city map in the future, like with stairs and stuff. And I think we've been talking about that. It's not really clear yet, but we want our second map, if I recall right, Joe, to be like some sort of tropical city, like a bit of a jungle to city vibe.
Yeah, kind of like a, I don't know, favela / tropical vibe to it.
That's the hard part, huh, Joe? Is managing to make that jump.
I almost have to reverse the whole thing just because of that jump.
Huh.
The game just needs better quality. Talking about this game? Yeah, this is just a prototype, man. This was 3 months in the making. We probably have about 1.5 or 2 years worth of work to do. So yeah, quality will come.
Yeah.
All we've been focused on now is the physics and the gameplay, because that's what matters. If you don't have good physics or good gameplay, there's no point of making it look pretty or improving the quality. So we're focusing on the priorities, which is physics and gameplay. Once that's done, then we start making things look prettier.
Yeah, we haven't even put this into the alpha or beta phases yet. This is a prototype at this point. Very, very early.
Yeah, that's the risk, right? When you put it on a publicly when you show your prototype. I mean, we want people to play it as early as possible to get as much feedback, like build the community and stuff. I think that's working so nice. But of course, one of the drawback would be that people would miss that it's a prototype and start judging it a bit too early. But I think overall that's a trade-off that's good. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, I think so too.
I definitely think so. The one thing we get a lot of this game looks like Descenders. What we don't get is a lot of people who have played the game telling us it's like Descenders. That, you know, it's like the people who see it oftentimes think that, maybe because of the Unity assets that we've used so far, and Descenders is made in Unity, and maybe it feels similar in that way. We haven't seen that from people who actually play the game. But you know, makes sense that people are saying it's a mountain bike game and built in Unity. McKay says maybe it's worth putting a prototype watermark into the UI, which maybe is.
It's a good idea.
Maybe something to consider. Yeah, it's a good idea.
It's a good idea. Yeah, I've seen all of the games do it, like pre-alpha, no, not final. Yeah, sure, that's a good idea.
So you've decided that's happening, Zach?
Say what, Brian?
Have you decided that's happening? I just want to know if one of our viewers just specifically impacted the roadmap.
Yeah, I think so, right? When we stream and stuff, like we can add a little watermark, or maybe I can add it in game. Good idea.
One good thing about Joe as a game director is Joe is not a micromanager. He knows what he wants. He's got a vision, and he has a good feeling for what game he's trying to make. But Joe fundamentally believes that you should work with people that you trust, and you should give them their, work with them on their tasks, give them autonomy over sort of when they do things to some extent, how they do those things. That's always my view. Do you feel the same way, Zach, like he's not micromanaging you, or do you feel like Joe gets up on your beeswax too much?
It's horrible to work with Joe, man.
Thanks.
To be honest. No, I don't think I would be here and having fun like that. Like, again, there are different types of people. I know some are okay with getting more like tasks when they work, and I think that's fine. But for me, I like when it's a bit fuzzy and when we discuss it, and when when we come back and forth. Sometimes I have ideas or opinions, and Joe always listens. I think for me, that's the only way to work, like getting this organic way of creating together. And if there's no trust from the game director, like if it was a movie, Joe would be the director basically. But like in a movie, you have to work in team. If you're this type of like a bit of tyrant, like like you always get your ways for every little detail, you don't let your team breathe at all. I mean, you might get a good movie in the end, but you might not work with the same people for the second movie.
Yeah.
So, for me, it's been so nice to be working in that fashion. I have to say, like, when I come in today, like, I decide kind of what I will be working on. I have like this big vision, but if I suddenly have a little bit of an idea, I can sidetrack. I don't feel like I'm I don't get this bossy feeling at all from you guys, and that's super nice.
Panda asked, do you think you got... Oh, go ahead, Joe.
I was going to say, I feel like sometimes if I feel micromanagey, it's because I'm excited. Like a lot of days I get in and like I don't see anyone saying anything, and I'm like, all right, what'd you work on? What did you do? Is there a build? Is there this? And that's not me being like, work hard or faster. It's just me like excited and like ready to try the next thing. So I'm hoping my excitement never comes off as micromanagey.
No, because you don't tell us what to do, like in a micromanagement fashion. But yeah, I get that. I think you got a little... sorry, tell me.
I was going to say, the public, you guys can see the roadmap. So if you don't know, join our Discord or our Patreon, and there's links to our roadmap. And you can see like everything Zach sees, like when he goes to work in the morning. The cards aren't super detailed. Like it's like improve wheelies. It wasn't like me saying like improve wheelies by doing X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, let's talk about what's wrong with them, discuss it, and then Zach, go have fun and let's come up with a way to fix it. Like, I don't need to tell you how to do your job because you know how to do it way better than I do. So,
Dylan, I
know
want
how
to
to do it
answer
at
your
all.
question. Is it going to be third person? Yes, definitely. We have a bike that looks so bad. I don't even know how to explain how bad it looks. I'm not even going to try this week. No, we have Unity assets for the bike right now. It looks awful. We have not put the real bike and rider in the game yet, so we figured it didn't make any sense to implement third person until you actually want to see the bike that you're watching. So yeah, definitely part of the plan on the roadmap, which you can find on our Patreon. The roadmap.
Did you want to talk about the new bike, Brian?
I'm down with talking about the new bike. Yeah, let's do
They
it.
said we could.
Let's do it. Yeah, you guys want to know who? We can talk about who we're working with for the first bike. I'm gonna let you talk about it, Joe. You're the one who came up with this idea in the first place. So
Sure. I can't do this freaking challenge, dude. I'm over it.
okay, all right. Sorry, I didn't mean to
Challenge
give something a
failed.
little bit beyond your skill level. I'll make sure I knock it down a little
The
bit next
thing
time,
that
Joe.
about this challenge that it's not good. I don't find it a good stream challenge if you want me to also talk, because in my head I have to go
Okay.
in, out, and I can't talk and do that at the
Yeah.
same time. It's impossible.
Yeah,
so
gotcha.
it's like
Gotcha.
focus on one or the other.
Yeah, but I need a little time also to kind of hone in the way we do these challenges on the stream like this. Like, this is the first time, so the
Yeah.
first one may be a little bit of a whiff, but it was still kind of fun watching you, and I'm going to try it myself, see how badly I fail at it.
And I want to try it again later, maybe, but not right now. If I want to talk about the new bike, so
Yeah.
I want to tell you guys how this new bike whole thing came together. Maybe I'll even clip this and send it to those guys so they kind of know. But I was watching, to get ideas for this game. I whenever I'm making a new game, I try to like just go all into that sport. Try to like play that sport, watch videos of that sport. Like, I've always been mountain biking a long time, but you step it up a notch when you start making a game. You start trying to ride more. You start watching more videos, paying attention to things. So naturally, I've been watching YouTube and just all kinds of stuff. And I stumbled across there's a video about I think it was a video about Asa Vermette. Was it? Yeah, I think it was a video about Asa Vermette and frameworks, and just talking about the story of frameworks and how Nico Mullally started the company. He thought he could make a better bike than the big corporations. Went to go design his own frame, made his own race team. They're talking about kind of like their grassroots approach, and I was just watching it thinking like, man, this sounds like exactly like what we're doing with Cranked. Like, we're kind of a small indie team. We think we can make a really kick-ass mountain bike game. Kind of going up against some bigger AAA games, Riders Republic, Mavericks, maybe Mavericks AA, whatever you want to call it, but same kind of vibe. So I just reached out to them and said, hey, look, I feel like your guys' story is similar to ours. Like, just passionate people, love mountain bikes, and we're just trying to do the best thing we can with a little bit of money we have. Love to put your bike in the game. They were like, cool, let's do it. So that'll be the first official branded bike in the game. It'll be the Frameworks downhill bike. It's the bike that Asa Vermette, if you guys don't know, he's like the new up and coming phenom who's been destroying. He just won Red Bull Hardline. But they have a whole team, a bunch of different riders, and I think their bike looks sick. So Maggie will be working on that, and hopefully in the next like 2 weeks, maybe 3, she'll be done with it, and that'll be in the game.
Super stoked about that partnership. It's just so perfect. It's a great fit. It's exactly the type of people we want to align with. We've been talking to Logan. He's super cool and has been seems to be enthusiastic about the whole thing too. So I think it's going to be fun. Hopefully we'll get to do some cool collaborative content down the line. I'm real pumped, man. I can't wait to see what Maggie does with it. So yeah, guys, Frameworks. We kind of teased it a little bit last week, but now we're officially announcing it on the stream that is who we're working with to start with. Which I think leads me into the idea I wanted to talk about, Joe, actually, because they're in a way, there's a combination there. Maybe I'll just jump into that right now. We have some people around with us right now. So, like I said before, it's really common that somebody on the game team comes up with an idea, puts it down on paper, and then takes it to somebody else on the team to kind of shoot holes in or develop, whatever. See if it's something that makes any sense. I have an idea. I want to drop it today on the stream. see what Zach thinks as far as any implementation is concerned. Same with Joe, and see what you all think about the idea in general, if it's worth it or if we should not spend any time on it. So,
But real quick, LX3, this is not pre-recorded. If that's what you're talking about, this is live, baby. Go ahead.
yeah, maybe we should do a quick catch up on comments actually before we jump into the idea. Let's scroll through here and see if there's any. But yeah, live, a couple second delay, but otherwise live. We're getting a lot of this as descenders on TikTok.
It's cool. I'd say get your eyes checked, but
No, it's always like that because everyone who plays it know that it's different. But I get that it's hard to convey gameplay through video. Like you're like, this game plays that way. But Maggie showed me some early sketches of the new look that we're going for, and I'm super stoked about that. That will make us look much different from Descenders, in my opinion, but still stylized. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I think when people are not looking at placeholder graphics all over the place, maybe they'll think it looks differently. But hey,
there's the Unity look.
Yeah.
It's the way it is. Like some people, I can know when a game is made in Unity or Unreal. Like there's something in it,
Yeah.
The lighting, the assets. But as we develop our own look, it will be much better.
Yeah, but it's our responsibility to make it different and to show other people that it's a different game and worth checking out, right? So we own that responsibility, and hopefully when it looks the way we envision it to look, and it's not just Unity assets that we're using to build the world. We will succeed in conveying that even in replay or while watching people play. Hopefully that's the goal.
I've seen two similar comments. I think we should answer. One, Kyle. No, not Kyle. What changes, Ellis Burrows, what changes do you hope to see in the next few weeks, months? And I saw someone else maybe on YouTube ask the same question. So really quickly in 10 seconds, in the next few months, change the bike, new rider, third person, better animations, more steezy. That's what I think is the next few months. That's the short version. Bike, rider, third person, more camera settings, better animations. Zach, any input?
And
someone is asking on YouTube, Natman, what made you choose a game engine rather than the other? And McKay also asks that, like, why Unity? And the reality is that we've been working in Unity before for our previous games, so we have some experience. So that played a role for sure. But even if I was like as experienced with Unreal, because that would be our two choices basically, Unity or Unreal. I mean, maybe Godot for those who knows, but I don't think it's really production ready. And Unreal, the graphics are awesome, but the physics, I mean, no. Basically, I wouldn't want to do physics in Unreal. Like they're okay, but the way Unity does it, it's much better to go and program the physics in it. So I think if you want to do a physics-based game, I would definitely recommend Unity or Godot. I mean, I'm so stoked about Godot for the tech guys, but I think in a year or two maybe.
Joe and Zach Birchall said you look very handsome today.
Yeah,
FYI.
except, and then he said not Joe. Screw you, Zach, or screw you, Birchall. Zach, this is the first build you've ever sent that has crashed on me. It's crashed twice, just FYI.
That's what happens when you drop it on the live stream.
Out of the 30 plus builds you've probably sent me, this is the only one that has ever crashed. Pretty good record.
Oh, nice.
All right, guys, I'm going to jump into this idea. I really want to see what the two of you think, and I also want to see if people would find this interesting or if it would be a waste of our time. So I've been thinking a lot lately about the meaning of T-shirts and how sort of important they are in our society. You know, it's like people, it's almost like other than maybe tattoos, it's like the most sort of dominant form of self-expression. People walk around wearing T-shirts and it tells you what they're into, what they believe, things they like, etc. And I know we're going to do customization in this game, of course. And I got this idea that we would do a weekly or periodic, I'll say. I haven't come down to the timing of this. We can talk about that. But a periodic in-game t-shirt design drop that we attach to these live streams that we do. So we release a new in-game t-shirt periodically, and it's a one-time release, exclusive. The only time you can get it is if you claim it when it happened. You'll never be able to get that t-shirt ever again. Obviously, I'm talking in-game, something you'll be able to wear as a custom item in the game. We have to figure out that claiming process, which is a challenge. It would be collaborative focused. So in an ideal world, we would collaborate with mountain bike companies trying to get off the ground, brands, bike shops, maybe other streamers. It could be artists who are mountain bike adjacent or into the sport or the game. It could be musicians who are somehow connected to the sport or the game. Really, anybody you could put on a t-shirt in real life. We find companies like that collaborate with us, and we create these weekly drops. You get them once a week. We'll figure out the claiming side of it. Once we have customization in the game, you would then get all the ones that you've collected up until that time. Obviously, we don't have customization yet, so it would start off designing these and creating them and making a system that allows people to claim them and then get them when they have the game. So that's kind of what comes down to you, Zach, is helping us figure out how to pull off that part of it. And we would want, it creates a cool alignment with other cool companies and entities, a cool sort of marketing element where we talk about each other and they're kind of talking about us to their audience, which we don't normally have necessarily a connection to. And we're talking about them to our, they don't necessarily have that connection to. If they already have t-shirt designs that they would want us to work with, they could send those to us and we could work with those. One of our aces in the hole here is that Fisher as a founder. Fish is a very high level designer. We have somebody who would take on the role of this by creating the in-game versions of these t-shirts, and I would manage it. So another thing I like about this idea is there's some work on the implementation side, but it's not getting lopped on Joe and Zach. It's something that Fish and I can kind of jump in and do and handle the heavy lifting of, so the rest of these guys can focus on making the game. I like that it celebrates the founding players of the game, because we kind of feel like everybody who's hanging out with us is really founding this game with us, and I like that we're creating opportunities for these exclusive things that later they'll have in the game, and they'll be only because they were with us in the early days. And then one other element I liked about it is the idea of Fish when he designs them or uses other people's designs to make them work in the game, and of course he would have to work with Maggie, Zach, in order to make sure from a specs perspective he's building these things properly from the beginning. If he's also making the designs to where they could be put on real shirts, and then if it's somebody we're working with and we've designed it and it would help them out to give them that design so they can produce those shirts, we would give them the design and they can produce it. So it's one more thing we can do for them. But also I'm thinking we would load that design up every week onto Printful, which is the service we've used in the past to make like Mad Skills shirts, and we would just give away one real world shirt every week to somebody who also, like a random winner every week of somebody who claimed the virtual version. And Printful makes it easy for us, so there'll be very little friction there. We just upload the design, they take care of printing it, they take care of shipping it, we just have to pay for it. I love the aligning with people. I love the getting to know more people, the sort of organic, we're in this together feel for other people who are trying to build something rad. I like that it's another element on the live streams, and we could kind of figure out a way to, unveil the drops or whatever and talk about who we're working with next. I think sounds fun. Gives the collaborator something to promote. Like I said, we each have the ability to promote each other, so it feels like these sort of indie outfits who are trying to get something off the ground group together a little bit and help each other grab a gear, that type of a thing. That's the gist of the idea. I have some more details. I don't want to get too much more in because I think that paints it, but the two questions I'll have for Joe and Zach, and we'll maybe go with that, and then we can break down I haven't had a chance to look at the comments to see if anybody's into this idea or not, but Joe is like what your idea for how custom items are going to work in the game already, and thinking how you think that like ownership and selection process would be in the game, how people will decide what they want to wear, and does this fit into that in some way, and how would we identify the items that were exclusive grabs from the early days? And also, Zach, I'd be curious if you have any early thoughts on how people might be able to claim this, and we might be able to put all this together. So that's generally the idea right there.
Love the idea. Real quick, Chris Collins, thanks. Elijah, also thanks. And Jack Hefe says Joe Mama. Yeah, that's me, dude. I'm Joe Mama. But yeah, back to the idea. I think it's a great idea, and I think it fits. The way the customization will work is we're gonna have a lot of customization that's just like typical, like regular mountain bike clothes, like lifestyle clothes. And so I think it works well. It fits in with that kind of stuff. We're also gonna have like branded, like, you know, race jerseys and all that kind of stuff too. But most of the like lifestyle stuff I kind of want to be free, and free as in, I mean, everything's gonna be included in the price of the game, but free as in like it's unlocked. You don't have to like unlock it by doing a challenge or something. And I think the t-shirts are cool because you can watch the stream, you kind of get something cool and easy, and I dig it.
What's your early take, Zach, on claiming these?
It's a hard one, right? First, I really like the idea. I think having cool T-shirts. I mean, it's so nice. The mood around this sport. I really like it. It's a bit like I mean, I'm not an expert, but I feel a bit like the coolness of the skate community is a bit like also in the mountain bike. Like there is something of that. Like people want to wear an actual like kind of cool shirts that's been designed by friends or stuff like that. Like, but yeah, like Tails said something interesting, like the periodic availability. People could be like on vacation and stuff, and when they come back, like they missed on the super cool shirt.
Don't go on vacation. It's an easy solution.
Don't go on vacation. Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know. I love the idea. I wouldn't be so hard to put it in, really. But
Yeah,
what could?
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, what could be a good idea to make you claim those? I mean, the periodic stuff. What's nice is that it creates so much rarity. You know, like then once the shirts are out, they're out. So that also makes them much more valuable in a way.
Yeah,
So.
we need to think about accessibility. Like, it can't just be available. You can't have to be in the stream to be able to participate, because we can't stream at a time that's reasonable for everybody in the world. So there has to be maybe a 18-hour window or 24-hour window where during that time, you know, maybe we don't limit it to where you have to sort of show that you were in the stream, but we just tie it to the day that we release the stream, just to kind of, because we could talk about it that day and say, hey, it's available now. And maybe there's a place to go. I don't know if in the notes on the YouTube video and on the live TikTok video, we could put a code, and for 24 hours that code's works. That was kind of an early idea I had. And then you run the code, you know, you go somewhere to an interface somewhere, maybe, and drop the code, and you get registered for getting that and tie it to your email address or something along those lines. I don't know. We have to figure out those details, but I don't think it's a very big problem to solve as far as how to claim it is concerned. I do think getting good companies to or people or entities or whatever brands to collaborate with, it could go either way, right? Like if this thing really works out, they'll come to us probably. Like or our players will help bring them to us, and it doesn't become a full-time job of having to track them down. Also, we could minimize the risk of that by not committing to a regular cadence. Maybe we don't do it every show. Maybe we only do it once a month or every other week and feel like we can do it that way. Maybe we don't have to collab on everyone. Maybe some of them could just be fish having some fun and designing a cool t-shirt that's going to go in for that week. So I think there's some ways around that.
I had a stupid idea. Tell me if it could work, but like, you know, we want a bike shop to be at the bottom of the new open world scene. So as you travel down the trails, like in this big open world map, like at the bottom you get the bike shop, and from there you can like buy new bikes and stuff in game, of course. And what if we had like a secret code, okay, that we say during the live stream, and anyone who input the password to say like could get the shirt. So basically, if you're part of the community, you can always ask the people if you miss the live stream, you can ask them like, oh guys, what's the password? But you can also play, you know, a little bit on the you don't have to give the password to everyone who who tells you, who asks you. You know, I don't know. That's just a
I like that, and I
random
think
idea I had.
once that system's in the game, then I think what you do is we do that, but the password only works for like a week. And then after that week, if someone goes in there with the password, it's like, oh, sorry, man, we're sold out.
Yeah, I like that. So you realistically, you can always go back to your computer at some point during the week and input the password, and you can also watch the live, the record, you know, so if you missed it. So I think, but still give you a little bit of playing, like if you, like you need to watch the full live to get the point where we say the password or something. I don't know, but I like the idea. It's simple.
I think we should head to chat, Brian, and there's lots of questions and stuff coming up.
Yeah. Cool. Let's go over here. Start over on the YouTube side. We're getting a little more chat activity over there today. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I have to go way back.
Guys, we'll
He
spend a
says
while
alleged.
answering your questions now, so if you got questions, stick around. We're about to answer them.
Frameworks, Tails says, in general, is an amazing team. People seem pumped about the Frameworks announcement. We kind of thought you would be pumped about that. Taylor's pumped as well. Tails remembers you talking about that. So, yeah, we're both pumped it happened. Kind of felt like it was such a good fit that we thought it would happen, but it took a little bit of work. Captain Jack says he loves everything about it. If he had to pick a bike, no compromises, he would pick a Frameworks bike. I kind of felt like you felt the same way, Joe.
For the game?
Top choice. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's like, it's raw. It looks cool. I dig like what they're trying to do. Just everything about it just feels right to me.
Viala Hadrian says, Gamermon, I think that's a guy's name, him of Motocross Madness, big up. Lots of people saying it's not anything remotely like Descenders, but these are players, so it doesn't surprise me that they're saying that because they actually play the game. Adam says it's crazy. People say it's like Descenders. It's a mountain bike game, so maybe that's a mountain bike game in Unity. I think that's why.
Yeah.
Aaron is excited to see what Maggie is doing with the look of the game. Man, so am I. Sounds like you've seen something that I haven't quite seen, Zach. I know she had some ideas. I don't know if you're talking about the same thing she showed us, or if she's
Showed you
developed
the
that
same
some.
thing.
Okay.
But I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
I do too, man. I think it looks really cool what I saw that she's doing so far. I definitely don't think it looks
Yeah.
anything like Descenders.
No. But still stylized, which I think is the good goal.
Adam says any prototype maps in the future. I don't fully understand what the question is. Like, we'll be releasing another map soon on the prototype? Is that what the question was? I'm sure I get that.
This is the prototype map, and this map I don't think will work on anymore. Maggie might use it as like a test environment, so she might kind of tweak stuff in here just to test before we pull it into the new map. But we're working on the big new open world map, and we'll update that to you guys periodically as we add new trails. Cedric just finished the first top to bottom full run. It's like 5.5 minutes long. Super big mountain. But yeah, we'll be working on that one single huge open mountain scene for the next year or so. So that's basically all you'll have is this is the prototype one, and then we'll start pulling in the new one, and you'll have those two to switch between. But in the end game, this one probably won't be in there. I kind of like the idea of doing it as an Easter egg only for Patreon members. So anyone who was part of the Patreon, maybe there's a way that you can unlock like this old prototype in the game with the bike, the ride, like all the old school stuff, kind of as like a nostalgia throwback. I think that'd be kind of fun, but only for people who are part of the Patreon.
Got some support for the t-shirt idea. Aaron says she's loving it already. Tails likes it. Found Harpy likes it. Tails mentions the periodic availability issue. Yeah, well, you know, we would kind of try to cut those problems off at the pass and have a plan. Like I said, we could always have Fish just do some stuff that he thinks cool. I mean, that guy's been designing stuff in Moto, and he does a lot of. He's on retainer with Red Bull, so Fish is very, very good. He's been on retainer with Red Bull for years. They don't put designers on retainer for many years for nothing. Dude knows what he's doing for sure. Very talented guy. So if nothing else, we could just have Fish make us something dope. You know, I think we could work that out. Hopefully, the idea works, and our players love it, and they've got like friends who are trying to do something cool, and they connect them with us, and it doesn't end up being a massive issue. Because I will say one thing that we would need to do to make that to get that idea off the ground is we got to figure out how to do it efficiently. Can't be something that takes a crazy amount of work. We really need to think it through on the front end and try to make sure that we can administer it pretty easily. Tails has a brand in mind already. Captain Jax has a brand idea in mind who does streetwear stuff. Aaron's would be pumped to represent Cranked Gear IRL. I might have a little something like that to bust out next week on our live stream already, unrelated to the in-game t-shirt drop idea.
Dude, the new physics are so good. I don't know if you guys noticed when I hit that cheeky little cheat line where you drop through the trees, you kind of land sideways, and now you like slide out if you land sideways like that, which I think just makes it feel more realistic. I think line choice is even more important now with the new physics than it was before.
Yeah.
Yeah, these guys are talking about fear of missing out or that whole thing. Like I said, we really need to make sure that anybody who is just kind of participate, like hanging out with us one way or the other, whether it's live or whether they're just kind of following along with us, if they want to participate in this idea, we need to make it reasonable so anybody can, but also exclusive. So months later, we're not re-releasing stuff that was supposed to be exclusive a while ago. I think that sort of exclusivity and rarity is kind of one of the things that makes it cool and makes it a fun thing to collect. Natman says, do you have plans for community event like time trail challenges for specific lines or silly challenges like the one that Tails made today? In the game, I think. I saw that question asked earlier. Joe, I know you've talked about challenges in the game before. You want to comment on that?
Sure. Honestly, the way we're doing things these days is kind of different than how I've designed games in the past. In the past, I would write up like a 70-page game design document that had every little detail about the whole entire game. Then you give that thing to the team, and then the team doesn't read it because it's too damn long. And then, you just wasted like 6 months writing a 70-page document. That's how I used to do things. Now we're kind of just designing as we go. So it's like right now, what are we worried about? We're worried about physics. So all I'm doing is spending my time working on the physics, thinking about the physics, testing the physics, talking to Zach about the physics. That's where our energy goes. If we never got past the point of having good physics, which we already have, so it's fine. But like, I don't want to be doing work in the future that we might not ever get to. So I haven't spent a crazy amount of time thinking about the metagame, the challenges, and all that. We have ideas, obviously, but we'll probably go into like a hardcore planning phase for that stuff when the time gets closer. So in other words, to answer your question, do we have plans for like community challenges and stuff? I don't have anything specific. I know that I definitely want to do like some community competitive events. Like I'd love to have a track of the week, and people can spend the week trying to qualify for like a live stream event where we'll have like a finals where everyone just gets, maybe we take the top 40 riders from the week and they get invited, or the top 100 and they get invited. And I don't know, some way that you invite the top players from the week to a live stream. Or to, not necessarily to a live stream. They get invited to like the finals, which I will live stream and kind of commentate. But all those top players get one attempt, one run, like in real life. That kind of a thing. I think that would be really fun. Ideally, it would be on like replica tracks that coincides with real races in real life, but that's something for the future. But the metagame will be all challenge based. I think that's fun. There will be no like in-game currency or anything like that. It's basically going to be challenge based, trying to keep it as fun as possible. But I love the idea of community challenges, like a new challenge every week. Sorry, that was very
By the
long.
way,
be quicker with my answers.
Speaking of challenges, we do want to unveil some for Joe to try on the stream as we move forward. Today's was okay. It was fun, but maybe not. I learned something in that. There's gonna be an art to having good challenges. But if y'all have any ideas, let me know without Joe knowing. We don't want him to know what they are coming in. You could either hit us on the Discord and find me. I'm just Brian on the Discord. You can talk to me there and let me know if you have ideas. You can follow Session Syndicate on TikTok. I run that account. Set it up mostly so I could help Joe and he didn't feel like he had to do all of the community interaction. But if you follow me on Session Syndicate, I'll follow you back. Just make a comment. Maybe I'll make a post on there about challenges and you can just comment and let me know that you have an idea and I'll follow you back so you can tell me what it is. I would love some help though, so we have some fun stuff to do. I will think next time, Joe, how is this going to work with you also talking?
Yeah. Cool.
We plan for you to find the secret ramp and send something crazy of your choice.
Where's the secret ramp?
Yeah, that's the challenge, man.
Dude, to find a secret ramp in this massive place?
I think it's around there.
I thought it was
maybe
over this way somewhere.
Can you just see it to your left? Wasn't it just to your left?
No, that's part of the trail.
Oh, okay.
I know. I think it might be in that part of the hill, like a bit further down, maybe.
Panda asks if Joe, if you and I play guitar.
I pretend to
Yeah,
play
you
guitar.
know. I'm all right.
I can play a
Strummer,
little bit.
mostly a strummer. I was more of a singer, but then I got a throat condition and I can't really sing very much anymore. So if I can't sing, it's not much fun to play guitar.
Oh,
for me,
there.
so
That was on the
that's
left. You passed it.
I don't see it.
No. Did we remove it? Yeah, check.
I thought it was back here somewhere, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought the same.
Panda, my kids got better at guitar and singing than I ever was. Sure, especially well, both of them really. My daughter played in bands from the time she was, I think, 11 until 18, until she went off to college. But all through her like middle school and high school years, she was in a pretty popular local band actually, with 3 other young girls. They were cool. Before I Sleep, they were called. Female pop punk band, which was cool. You don't see too many all female pop punk bands. Wish we saw more actually. It's a good dynamic. All right, I'm going to look over at TikTok and see if we see some comments over here.
Or was it over this way? Maybe it was over this way.
While you're looking, hey, Jaffe,
Yeah,
you
here
had
it is.
asked. Got it.
You found it?
You had asked,
Yeah, nice.
Jack, if where you can get the game. If you go to our Patreon and subscribe, you'll be able to get the prototype. Bob Stezzy asks if we could add tricks. That's the plan. Right now, any trick is just based off of what you can do with controllers. So 360s and flips, scrubs, etc. Just built into the physics. But as for real tricks, Joe's got some big ideas for the best possible way to accomplish this task. If we pull that off, then we will have absolutely badass tricks eventually in this game. But it's a little ways off still. Nice gap. Also, Jack asks if BMX 2 is still being updated. I know it's coming out on Switch tomorrow. Mad Skills BMX 2 is. That's kind of cool. That's the first game Turborilla's put onto the Switch, so I'll be curious to see how that goes. But I don't know what other updates are available or coming on that game. I don't know if you guys could answer that question or not. I'm not sure.
You said it hasn't been updated in a while, which is actually incorrect. We did a massive update recently, changed the physics a bunch. You probably didn't notice because we didn't change the physics on the top bike, but right now it's mostly a bunch of updates to just try to make the game perform better, from a bunch of different standpoints, but like to monetize better, to have better retention. Basically, if those things work out, then we'll be able to justify more updates in the future.
Right on. Honda Element says the game's cool, but it looks so jank compared to Descenders. I would just say Descenders has been out since what, 2017, 2018?
It's been
And
like
this game's
6 or 7
3.5
years, yeah.
3.5 months into the making. We haven't done any of the artwork yet. We're just focusing on physics. So, we said it before. I'll say it again. Our philosophy is if you don't have like epic gameplay, you really don't have anything. So making everything else sweet, if it's not amazing to play, is kind of a waste of time and money. And so we're just focusing on making sure that it plays awesome. And then we'll make it. Fortunately, we're to the point now that Maggie's back from vacation that we are going to start making it pretty as well. We're all very excited about that because we feel this a lot. And understand the question too. If you don't realize how early in the process we are, it's a reasonable question for sure. But when it starts looking better, hopefully we can kind of convince people more quickly that we're doing something unique. That's the plan. Bird Chisel Fish is the fastest, most amazing, and easy to work with artist ever. He's certainly one of the most effective people in general I've ever worked with in 30 years of working. Almost 30 years of working. No, 30 years at this point. Fish is one of the most, if not the most, single effective person I've ever worked with. He's up there. Certainly nobody I know has been more effective than he is. Just awesome. Awesome dude. Tyler says, all y'all going to put it on mobile. You know, we never even thought about that before. Don't have any plans for that at this point, but we sure have heard it a lot. So, you know, we'll see. We're focusing on PC, and then if it goes well there, we'll focus on console. We hear a lot of people asking us about VR. If we went that route, it probably would be PCR VR and not like Quest VR. And mobile, I mean, you never know. No plans at this point, but you never know.
Problem with
If
mobile
we thought
is the controls, man. There's like, you know, it would be like one of those mobile games where you're going to want to use a controller, and I don't know how many people use controllers on their mobile.
Yeah.
I hate this drop, Zach. Could you make it like a landing or something? It drives me nuts.
Yeah, I agree. Zach, did you name Livsvilja because you lose the will to leave when you fail it a million times? So in Swedish, Livsvilja mean the like the will to leave, I guess. That's a good translation. Yeah, you could say that. I mean, this track was pretty fun to make. Like it was easier for me, you know. Like Andras Cedric is part of the team and he's making all the tracks. He's doing super good job at it. And when he made this big prototype map, he made this hidden cave that was supposed to be part of the exploration. Wow, Joe, that was pretty sick.
It's a lot.
Trying to do a little cheeky bounce line.
Yeah, that was pretty good. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to make a little track myself, and I made that one, which is like a bit unrealistic. It's a lot of jumps on wooden platforms and stuff like that. But I like it in the end. I think it turned out okay, but it's quite hard. I would say maybe a bit too much. I don't know.
Nah, it's good. It's fun. I mean, it won't make it in the final game probably, but it's fun.
No. But I would like to get like a map like in the final open world map. I would like to get. I don't know if you remember on the previous track, like the one called Ocam. Like I really liked it, like with the, like very techy section, like where you needed to jump from platform to platform and stuff like that. I think like better than this one, but something in that spirit at least. I like them.
Luca,
we have a good question from Luca. Go, Joe. I was going to say the same thing. Sounds like you're already on it. Let's respond to Luca.
Like, what will the goal of the game be to reach a certain place in the rankings? The core loop will kind of be, you take the lift up to the top. We're hoping that we can do it to where like you can ride the lift, look out, you know, hang out with your buddy, chatting with your friend on the lift as you go up if you want. You could also skip the ride and just go to the top. Take the lift to the top. You find a trail. When you get to the trail, it's kind of up to you. How do you want to ride it? Do you want to race it? Do like a time attack race run? Or do you want to free ride it? Do you want to work on like different challenges? So we'll have a set of different challenges for each trail in the game. You complete those challenges, reach the bottom. You'll earn some sort of experience. I don't know. We probably won't call it experience in the game. But you guys, you know, XP, to that type of thing. You'll earn that. That'll level you up. And as you level up, you'll unlock new things like new lifts to access. Like when you first play the game, you know, we'll probably have 6 chair lifts to get up the mountain. Only one of them will be unlocked, which will only, you know, so most of the mountain will be locked for you. So you need to complete challenges to unlock more lifts, unlock more bikes, unlock gear. And then we'll also have, you know, full leaderboards like we already have for all the tracks. We'll also have a friends leaderboard. So if you want to just worry about like smoking all your friends and not the full global leaderboard, that too. But the goal of the game really is just to like have fun, enjoy the trails, explore, play the game the way you want to play it, earn XP. That XP will help you unlock more areas of the mountain, more gear, more bikes. It's pretty simple concept. It's nothing crazy, but that's kind of it. there's obviously, that's the basics. That's like, what we want. Version 1.0. We have ideas for more developed ideas and crazier, bigger things if this game becomes a success and we can put more money into development.
Zach Natman says, "Looks like you're
too.
turning to the dark side, brother."
I hate sand.
Adam says, "Will there be trick points potentially? Get 3,000 free ride points by the end of the track, for example." Any take on measuring tricks or rewarding tricks in some way?
Probably. Like if we do tricks the way I want to do it, I can't like give secrets out yet because it's not finalized. But tricks is one of those things that'll probably come much later, maybe like a version 2.0. But yeah, I think if we do end up doing tricks the way I want to do it, I would like there to be a point system. I'd like us to also, I think this game would be perfect to do a speed and style event. Normally speed and style are side-by-side trails that are the exact same and riders go at the same time and they're racing, but they're also trying to do tricks, and you get some points for the tricks and you get some points for how you finished in the race, and then you combine those points and you have a winner. And I think this game would be perfect for that if we can get tricks in the game. So stuff like that we could do. So yeah, lots of ideas. Just depends on how big the game gets and how much money we have to make it bigger.
I mean, I think also for the small challenges that will be a bit like spread around the open world map, there will be tricks involved, right?
Yeah, I mean, even now without having proper tricks like cans
Exactly.
and all that stuff, there'll still be stuff like 360 the gap, or backflip this, or get a time on the trail under a minute and a half but wheelie 3 seconds, or stuff like that.
A couple of questions about release dates, etc. It is out as the prototype. The prototype Joe's playing right now just dropped at the beginning of this stream, so it'll be available to our Patreon members as soon as we can. But there's a build already available if you subscribe to our Patreon. Even the lowest subscription plan, $5 a month, gets you every build we release. That was badass, Joe. Every build that we release over the course of the term of that subscription. And if you spend $50 over the course of our Patreon, you'll get a key to open to get the full game when it's released globally. So that's how you can get it and play it right now. As far as any type of release dates for early access or global launch, we don't have anything. We're only like 3.5, maybe pushing 4 months into this project, so we're pretty far away from knowing when we're going to put it out. Exactly. It's going to be a while, though.
I have a question for you, Joe, Brian. Like, have you become more accurate at guessing what's hard and what's easy for programming? Because I remember you sent a meme, Joe, at some point, or maybe it was you, Brian. Like, it was like working with programming is black magic. Like, you ask the game devs, like, oh, can we add like a monster that goes out of the lava and then like shoots a bunch of fireball? And the devs are like, yeah, sure, okay. And then can the hero have a little scar, like, or something like a cape floating in the wind? And the devs are like, oh, that's pretty hard, man. Do you think you've now you can guess more easily with the experience?
Maybe a little, but still there's things where I'm like, that's got to be super easy, and then I'll ask, and Peter will tell me like, nah, that's too hard. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm better at it, but other times, I was on a good run.
Yeah.
Other times I don't.
Like I knew that obviously that the t-shirt idea implementation would not be difficult, but I think I would have known that if I was just getting started too. It's just kind of obviously not that big of a deal. So I don't know. Yeah, you think about all the ideas that we took to developers at one point or the other, usually together throughout the years. We learned something through all that stuff, certainly. I hope. But also I feel like we were never like, we got to find a way to make this work. We always were like, is this doable? And if a dev said, no, we can't pull this off, we would just be like, okay, let's find another approach. That's how it felt like to me anyway. Good question, though. I think so. I have a question for anybody listening. I'm thinking one last thing about the t-shirt idea. Let me know how many t-shirts you own just a guess. I asked Joe that question. He said probably 50. I'm thinking I probably have between maybe 35 t-shirts, and most of those t-shirts are band related, motocross related. That's it probably. Most of them are band related or motocross related, generally speaking. I kind of wear the things I've been into on my shirt as I go about my daily life. So I'm curious how many shirts everybody has.
Can anyone say what band this is by just seeing the top of my shirt?
I know what band
I
that
know
is.
you know, but see if anyone else.
It's an awesome band. That was one of the great concert. Joe came to Pittsburgh to watch that band and got that shirt. You got that shirt at the show we went to, right, Joe?
Yeah.
It's such an amazing show.
One of the best I've ever, maybe the best I've ever been to.
Yeah, it was up there for me.
I will say the new physics feel like you can feel the bike moving more under you, which to me feels more natural, and I think just makes the game feel even more in the direction I wanted it to go. So
nice.
I think
That's
it's good.
Is anything bugging you about the new physics that you think, or that you haven't said yet that you think we might need to rethink or tweak?
I think, we already mentioned it that we need to tweak it, but I think the spin speed probably still needs to be tweaked. Can I do this? Nope.
You had a pretty good tap on that a couple of runs ago.
Yeah, if I can get through that fast, I think I can improve my time even with the new physics. No, I mean, there's nothing glaring right now that I think needs to be. Maybe I think once the new bike and the rider are in, maybe we need, we'll have to work on rider position and all that stuff, especially when it relates to scrubs and wheelies and things. Because I want to make sure not only that it feels good, but it needs to look good too, like the rider position. Like typically when you're doing a wheelie, you're sitting like how he's doing now. But if I quit pedaling and turn it into a manual, you should probably stand up. Like things like that we'll need to adjust. But no, I mean, right now I think the physics are feeling pretty good. One thing we need to test is different terrain materials though still. So we got to get right now it's mostly dirt, grass, and gravel, but we need to get loam and some other materials and test that stuff too.
Jonathan guesses that your shirt is a Mumford & Sons shirt, Joe.
Get out of here. It's almost an insult.
but yeah, well, he threw 5 fires down and a laughing emoji, so I think it was intended that way, yeah.
Let's see. Does this even say who it is?
Yeah, it does at the bottom, if I'm not mistaken. Brand New is the band, and they're badass. Brand New is so good. They were just so good. Oh, my God. We were in the pit, super close. I've seen them before. I saw them play with the Front Bottoms. Front Bottoms opened for them some years ago, State College, PA. Took my daughter when she was super into emo and pop punk stuff. And they were great then, too, but us watching them in the pits was even better. And then I was standing in the exact same place last weekend, Joe, the same pit, same exact location for Modest Mouse and Flaming Lips. This is my Flaming Lips shirt.
Hell yeah.
They were so good. It was like a sonic tidal wave. I've never felt physically the next day after a concert as exhausted as I did after watching the Flaming Lips after what they pumped out on everybody. It was killer. I'd seen them before too, but it was in a club. Very different scenario to play in a small amphitheater like they played in Pittsburgh last week. Yeah, Deja Entendu is a killer record for sure.
Probably my favorite of theirs.
It's killer.
Zach, what do you think about the Schwelping mechanic? Do you think we still need it, or do you think with these new changes and the way you lean, it's good enough?
Question.
Did you get really?
You're breaking up, Zach.
Yeah.
I think we lost you, man. Is something up with your mic?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now we got you.
Oh, I think this is a good question. I think I would like to have it still. More importantly, with the specific flick of the joystick, like the opposite of a bunny hop. I think that was a good idea because you never know what people will find once we have that in. Like maybe even other way to do other tricks or whatnot. Like
a scrub, do it at the same time you scrub. I think would be interesting to try.
Exactly. You never know, making you lose traction like that in the back tire plus Yeah, a little bit of rotation. I want to try it at least.
Yeah. But you can turn, like, watch guys here. I'll turn way sharper on this turn right here. I mean, you can like get low now and really kind of sling it around, which is super fun. I wish I had a build with the new physics on the new map because I'll show you some of the S turns that Cedric has. The new traction physics feel really good on that.
Can't wait to have multiplayer. I think
Yep.
this will
Oh.
transform the game.
Joe, have you talked about, or do you want to talk about, or do you want to kind of sit on this one for a while? Your idea for riding with friends, or is that something you want to sit on?
No, we could talk about it. I think we talked about it last stream, but
Oh.
I've, you know, I don't know how you guys are, but I feel like most of us game because it's like a social thing. Like you game. Some people not, I guess, so much. You do single player games, but for me, gaming's a social thing. It's like I want to play with my buddies. I want to get online, hang out. It's kind of like times for me to connect with my buddies and do something at the same time. And I've played so many games with friends that are just so frustrating. Like the matchmaking doesn't work, the lobby doesn't work. You can't get a good game. Like even Nintendo. Like what's up with? I had to like Google how to get online on Mario Kart World on the new Nintendo Switch. I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, why is they making this so complicated? So from all those games that just drive me nuts, I want to do the opposite and make it the most easy and like pain-free multiplayer you've ever experienced. Like one idea I have is in mountain biking, you like to like ride with each other and do what they call trains down a run. Maybe there's like 10 of you riding together and you're all one right behind the next. And I would love to do that, like you and your friend going down the mountain. But let's say you crash and your buddy keeps going. I want you to be able to hit one button. This is my idea, and I don't know if I've told you, Zach, so you tell me if this is one of those things that's impossible. But I'm not going to race. I'm just going to explain because I think it matters. You have one button. Let's say you're riding behind. I'm riding behind Zach. Zach's cruising, and I crash. And now Zach's way ahead of me, and I want to just get back together with my buddy. I hit one button, and now what it does is it puts me behind Zach at a good distance. But it's a moving run, and it's basically just mimicking exactly Zach's run, but behind him. And if I don't touch the controller, it'll just sit behind him, following Zach's run, exactly how Zach's doing it. As soon as I put an input in, I take over, and now it's me again. So with one button press, boom, I spawn behind Zach. I'm running, I'm flowing with Zach, and as soon as I take over, like the reason there's that you don't have to take over immediately is so that you can, if all of a sudden I spawn on Zach and he's like mid-air or something, it's going to be more hard for me to take over. So I can like watch him, wait till he's on a spot where it's easy for me to take over. Boom, I take over, and now we're cruising again. So a system like that is what I want, or to set like a session marker for the whole group. So it's like, right now you can set a marker down on the D-pad, sets a marker, you hit up to go there. I'd like to do that, but with the whole group. So like you've got the group marker, and it's like, oh, everyone crashed, boom, everyone restart. Maybe you could even have a party leader who could like force restart for everyone. And now boom, everyone restarts at the top and just keeps flowing. So I just want to make it as fun and as like painless as possible to like go ride with your buddies and have fun. That's my idea. What do you think, Zach?
I like it. I like it. It wouldn't be easy for sure, but I think it's doable. That's pretty good. Like, of course, that would put you out of racing. Like,
Yeah.
you couldn't be able to set a time.
No, and you,
Once
I
you're in
think you
that
could
mode.
do multiplayer like race sessions, but it'd be more Trackmania style where you're all like kind of just racing on the same track. You could see the ghost of each other, that type of thing.
Yeah, I like it. I think there's two ways to look at it. Actually, I think it's interesting. Like you can give the player this a lot of convenience stuff, like being able to find your friend again, like pretty easily, or give them nothing, which is easier for me. And then you need to find your friends and stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe it's too cumbersome. But
Yeah, I mean,
I
I think we
like
start
it
that
too.
way. We start your way where we give them nothing,
For
and it's
sure.
like, look, it's real life. Go find your friend, ride with your friend, and if it's fun, cool, we're good. And if it's not and it's frustrating, then we find ways to make it more fun.
Agree. But no, I like the idea of being able to catch up to your friends if you crashed and stuff like that.
I also like the idea Aaron had, where there's like a coffee shop at the base, and that's kind of like a meeting point. Like everyone just kind of knows that's a meeting point. You could hop in a lobby, go to the coffee shop, hang out, maybe meet some new people, go to the lift together, ride the lift up together, find a trail together. You know, in a coffee shop just becomes like a cool hangout meeting spot for people. And that's kind of where you can connect. It almost becomes like the multiplayer lobby in a sense or something like that. You know, Aaron had some ideas around that, and I think that sounds really fun.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean the bottom part of the map will act as a hub. If we like my vision for the multiplayer is that everyone's on the same map and everyone just can see each other and
Yep.
interact like that. That would be awesome to go to that point, and then of course they can. Like, of course, the bottom of the map will act like a meeting place. I think organically.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think that's an awesome idea, and I want to see that. I would love to see people interacting. I think it was Natman before who asked like proximity chat, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome to get that into.
Thanks, Zach. I wanted to call that comment out, but you've taken care of that. McKay says he guesses it's like Peak, where when you die, you follow along. Did you ever end up playing Peak, Joe? I know you were talking about it.
I haven't played it yet, but I need to. Sounds like they have some good mechanics we could learn from.
Yeah. Plus, it sounds like you need to see what they do with the following along when you die, if it's similar to your idea there. Aaron's loving that idea, by the way.
Oh,
Who had the idea of eventually developing a cool Easter egg with like on a live stream or with our community or in Discord or something? Was that your idea, Zach?
Yeah, yeah. Because I want to do a live stream of coding, but you know, I mean, if there are very like coders or people who want to learn it or do it as a hobby, I think that would be awesome to get live streaming the coding process, like my job. I don't know. Tell me, guys, in the chat if you would be interested in watching that. But the thing is that it can be a bit dry at time, like you know, watching me tweaking physics or pulling off my hair about wheelie and stuff like that. You know, might be a bit frustrating for everyone. So I had this idea that we could make like an Easter egg together. Like I go with the people on live and like without any plan, like no idea. We just discuss about it together, and we come up with a fun, because you know there will be a beginning and an end. It will be something we do together. It would just not be me like just explaining my process, you know. So I think that's a cool idea, and if people are interested in that, definitely I would do it.
Well, we had 3 people in a row. We've got Hodge says he'd love a coding live stream. Hey, what's up, Hodge? Good to see you back, bud. Joey says he would love to watch. Adam says he's very interested. Natman also says the same. And Birchall says sometimes he has trouble falling asleep. So it would be really helpful for him, too, if he's struggling to sleep.
Yeah, it would be good if there's a set task rather than just daily code stuff. And I agree that because I wanted to code for like live, but I was a bit afraid of that. Like
that was kind of the idea behind doing
time.
Yeah, let's pay attention. That was kind of the idea, if I'm not mistaken, behind doing an Easter egg. That way, the community kind of comes up with something that you do, and then you develop it. You develop that with them. Is that kind of what you're thinking? Look at that! What?
There we go.
Nice, man, with the new physics.
What, 2.3?
That's crazy.
It's not bad.
And yeah, I guess it would be about mountain whales, the Easter egg. Like, I mean, it's too late now.
That's the best run you've had since we've been streaming, Joe. 3 streams in, that's the most dominant
Yeah, that's
run you've
pretty
had.
good. I mean, I'm not
Wow.
far
Well
off
done,
from
dude.
5th either. I don't think catching 4th is snack time. That's a kind of a one of my other usernames. If you see, I'm either in racing games. I'm usually Joe Mama so fast. And shooters, I usually try to be Sergeant Snacks. I always have snacks. My desk right now has pretzels and Oreos.
And probably some gummies. No gummies? I'm surprised.
No, those are in the kitchen. We have I just bought 10 bags of new gummies. Skittles, bunch of new Jolly Rancher candy. Two hours ago, my mom texted me and said I need to turn my volume up. Hopefully, we fix that. What else do you guys want to see? Anything you want me to do? We've got 4 tracks on this map. The one we just did. We've got Cat LeGrotten, which, the middle and end of this is the same, just the start's different. Fika Break's the easiest one. And Shred Skolgan is Blue Trail. So if you guys want me to mix it up, do something different, let me know. Otherwise, it's been 2 hours, 15 minutes. Probably call this one quit soon. I think for Zach, it's probably getting late too, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm hungry, man.
Yeah, me too. I haven't eaten anything all day. It's already noon for me. But yeah, let's kind of recap it and call it a day, I think. So this was kind of, it's fun having Zach here for the first time. It was also fun showing off new physics that you guys haven't played for the first time. I think the new physics feel great. Wheelies are feeling awesome. Manuals, let me go show you real quick just how much better they are. You can land in manuals now, and that feels fun. That always annoyed me before. You couldn't do that, so now that's fixed. Here, watch this. Just jump here. Boom. Look at that. So super fun. Turning, you can turn. Let's see, where's a good turn coming up? Let's do the S turn up here, and I'll try to really crank it. There you go. There's kind of a little skirt. Boom. You can really turn it. I mean, it'll slow you down because the traction's slipping, but anyway. Oh, right here's a good manual pad. Here we go. Whew. There you go. Ooh,
On the
that's a nice
TikTok
guy.
side, Tyler, Arlen, thanks for hanging out with us for so long today. It's really cool that you guys were here with us and everybody else who's joining.
But yeah, this was just a tease of the new build coming out soon. Zach, when do you think we'll release this to Patreon members?
Next week. Right.
Next week?
Yeah, let's commit to next week. I think we
Cool.
can definitely
Just
do it.
quickly talk about what you will do between now and then to get this release ready for the Patreon, just to give people an idea how you'll approach that.
On my side, Brian.
Both of you. What will you just have Joe test it for a while, give you feedback, and implement that in before you go? Is there anything else you feel like you need to do?
Yeah, I think we'll go like that, right? We have this one thing we want to tweak. Maybe Joe will play more, come up with something else. But I think it's shaping up to be already pretty solid enough to send out to the Patreons. I feel like, I mean, Joe has been having fun, so yeah, I think I'll tweak a few things.
Try to fix that crash
And
too,
then-
if you could figure out what's causing
Yeah.
that.
There was a crash. Also import the new physics to the new map, make a build of the new map Cedric is making.
Yeah, will you be able to combine them into one build?
That's a good question. I think I can pretty easily combine them, but can I keep the build size under the size limit of each when they are combined? I need to check that out. But we'll figure something out anyway. And then, yeah, I mean, I would love also to get actual track markers and track popping up on the new map. I don't know what you guys feeling, but that would be really nice.
I would like you to teach, either just make a video for him or have a one-on-one with Cedric and teach him how to put up the track markers and all that. At least just the track markers. If you want to actually do the racing and the leaderboards, probably that you can do all that. But I think he should place the markers themselves. And then I'd love to get racing on the first few trails that he's already done.
But what do you guys think in the chat? Should we spend a little more time and get some tracks ready in the in the new map and get both of them and stuff, or should we like next week we send the new physics, but just with the old map?
Good question.
Yeah, and while we wait for people to answer that question, I saw another house is different from Descenders. I think the main thing is just the physics. Physics feel completely different. I think it feels a little more intuitive, a little more flowy, a little more similar to how real bike riding feels, especially when it comes to grip and traction and control. Also a heavy emphasis on racing, less emphasis on free ride, even though we will have some free ride stuff and hopefully tricks in the future. But it's just a different vision, different take, different feel. Kind of the same thing, like what's the difference between Call of Duty and Battlefield, you know? I'm sure you guys could answer that question too. Similar kind of thing.
And it's going to look different too when we no longer have placeholder graphics, and these graphics are
This is 3 months in.
placeholder.
This is just a prototype. Look at these scrubs. You guys ready? But I messed it up. But anyway, still looks cool. Oh man, everyone's just, Aaron says that's tough. Trust you guys, whatever feels right to you. Either works, can't wait. Manual landing looks insane. Yeah.
In general, do we want like more smaller builds or
Yeah, that's the question.
less
It's kind of
bigger
fun
builds,
getting
right?
new builds, right? I think that's the question, Zach.
I think like if I had it my way, I would say a good cadence would be, like I would love if there was like a weekly build, like every Thursday, because we don't work Fridays, guys. Well, we try not to. 4-day work week type studio.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously, Brian and I are working every Fridays, but the development team doesn't work Fridays. So it'd be kind of cool, in my opinion, if every Thursday new build came out. But there's going to be times when you're working on, like when you start working on multiplayer, I don't think in 4 days you're going to have a new build ready. So in those cases, I think every other week is good. But at the very, very, very minimum, there needs to be 1 new build a month. But ideally 2 to 4 new builds a month, I think is good. Because you think if you spend $5 and you got, 2 or 3 updates throughout the month, I think that feels fun and exciting for your $5 pledge.
Adam makes a good point.
Yeah, exactly. Depends if releasing lots of small stuff slows down dev time. Not so much. Not so much. Maybe a little bit, but not a big amount. And the super nice part is that then you guys can give more feedback. So in the end, it might benefit us. Like that's the thing, right?
We got to get out of fakie. Like, we got to figure out how to do that physics-wise.
To do what?
Get out of fakie. Fakie's when you're riding backwards, like if you land like this. But right now, there's like no way to get out of it. You're just stuck.
You need to jump again, man. I think you can. Can't you? Like, if you jump again?
You can't jump when you're going backwards, though. Let me see. I don't think it lets you.
I think you can. It's free physics, man.
Yeah, I guess, but it's it's too hard, I think. But then again, I don't know who goes fakie on a downhill bike. It's probably gonna be more important when we have like the dirt jumper and stuff.
Also, fakie with this first person is super hard.
Yeah,
I think
true.
with the third person, it's gonna be much easier.
We were supposed to be closing out the stream, and then the problem is the game's too much fun, and I can never stop playing. So.
We went 4.5 hours last week, so we're already. It looks like we're pacing to be a little more reasonable this week. What'd y'all think about the earlier time? Is there anybody who this earlier time was more difficult for, or is it just better for most people? I know we wouldn't have even had a lot of our core players here, our founding players here, if we hadn't done it earlier, trying to accommodate people everywhere else. So let us know what you think about the time and if we should make some adjustments.
Oh man,
For me,
try to go
it's
fakie there.
better.
I think this time works good. I mean, for us it did, and I think. What do you think, Zach? This is probably not bad, or is it annoying to you to close out like your last day of the week, sitting at work late, streaming?
I don't mind if we do it later, once in a blue moon. I do it from home then. But even if once it's like super late at night for me, I don't mind. But yeah, if we do it a bit more regularly and I join, then this time is much better.
Nice.
But then yeah, it might be a bit harder for the US people, right? Because it's kind of like middle of the day in a Thursday.
Doesn't bother me, man. Half my job is just trying to communicate with the community, get the game on social media, and I feel like streaming, I mean, we get some of the best traction on TikTok when we're streaming, so for me, this is like a good use of my time, actually.
It's also just fun. I love hanging out with these, you know, our core players and new people stopping by, seeing how people feel about things. It's a blast, man. I've been looking forward to the stream all week long. I don't know about you guys. That's how I felt about it.
Man, today's exciting. We got the design files from Frameworks. Gonna get that bike going. We got a new build with new physics that I can test. We got the stream. You guys will get this new build next week sometime. I really hope you guys like it as much as I do. I'm sure there'll be some people who think it's a regression, but I don't, you know, only in terms of it's a little slower. So like if you want to be as fast as you were before, it's probably a regression, but I think it feels more realistic, but still feeling very accessible, very intuitive, reactive. But I think the bike just moves a little bit more behind, underneath you. It feels like it does things, you know, like when you're telling like the wheelies and scrubs, it's like listening to you more and feels more realistic in that sense, I think, if that made any sense.
I would say if it feels off when you're playing it, just know we're going to wipe the leaderboards. We want to leave the leaderboards live for a little while so you can kind of compare to what you were doing before. But once the leaderboards are wiped and people are setting new times, I think they'll, you know, maybe it'll feel different. Look at that line.
Yeah. Choose creative mode.
Sometimes it's fun to just not race and just free ride around, you know? Little dip 3. Ooh, boy.
Hey, Joe, I'm going to do something I wasn't expecting to do, but you just kind of made the call. Sweet. That was very nice. I'm going to unveil a challenge for next week to you ahead of time so you can kind of work on it.
Okay.
Because maybe the whole having to do it initially for the first time on the stream is the problem because you have to focus too much. So I'm going to give you the challenge now that we'll do next week, and you can practice it. And the challenge was created by you, Joe, because you're the first person I ever heard say this, and that is pick a track, point A to B, as fast as you can do it. Markers be damned. Do whatever you want. Find the absolute fastest way. So you can pick a track and figure out which one you want to do and see how fast you can get there. Maybe set a time that you're trying to beat in the next show, and we'll see what you can do. But I think it might be more fun if you have a little bit of time to prepare for that and figure out what the line is that you want to take. Otherwise, it'll probably just be you looking for a line the whole time, and I'm not sure that'll be super fun.
That sounds amazing. I can't wait.
So we call that the bomb pop challenge, Joe. Because you're bombing a mountain and because you and I both equally love desperately bomb pops. If y'all don't know what bomb pops are, because you're not American and they don't have them where you are, number one, I'm sorry for you that you don't know what they are. And number two, if you come over here ever, you need to get some bomb pops. That's all I'm saying.
Dude, I thought the trail would be right here. Yeah, oh, it is.
So the bomb pop challenge next week, Joe. Pick a trail, A to B, your way.
All right. I think I already got it. See, now I want to do.
Maybe we can even mention this on our Patreon and Discord, and our players can start laying down some time so we can build the kind of leaderboard we built it when we had that little party for the Pittsburgh Supercross. We were just using paper and keeping track of times, Joe, before we had actual leaderboards.
Yep.
So maybe we can, if y'all want to pick a track and go from point A to point B, whatever way you want, and record your time on our system, let us know what your time is, and we'll keep a leaderboard going.
I feel like the trail should end right here. It's weird to like try to figure out the trails when you're not. Yeah, it does. Yeah, this is gonna be a fun challenge. I gotta quit. I gotta stop playing. I can't stop, dude. This game is just too good. The hard part's gonna be not hitting a tree on the way down.
Yeah, exactly. Are they in the same places every time, or do you have to deal with them being dynamically generated? They're in the same places every time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, so you can kind of learn the line. Obviously, the kicker is you have to go through the finish line, obviously. So this one would have been a better one to start with.
I feel like it's right here. Where is it? I went past it already. Yeah. It's
Oh, well,
there.
you know, you've got your assignment for next week.
Sure do. It's a fun one. I like that.
Yeah, because it was your idea. I remember I heard you say something like that like 3 months ago. So it was the second one I put on my spreadsheet.
Hardline, dude. I want hardline in here. It's very bad, Victor. Someday. Red Bull, if you're watching, I know you're not. But let's do hardline together. Cool. I think we're good to close it out.
Yeah, man. Works for me.
Thanks everyone for hanging out. Thanks Zach for joining us. Excited to do more of these with you, Zach. I think it'd be cool. Kind of when we have a new build, like we're teasing a new build, you get on here, make sure you're on here, and we just talk about it. I think it's fun. You can talk about the behind the scenes stuff and the physics.
Yeah, just let us
that
know
was
if there's
super
ever a time you want to hop on for any reason. Just let us know.
Yep. We'll do. Yeah, that was fun.
Just
And I'll do more of it.
man, this game was already fun. Oh, the back tire doesn't move. Interesting. Lots of things to fix. But it's like I thought this game couldn't get much more fun, and now this update, I think it made it even better. So super excited for you guys to get it. Tell us what you think of it when you do get it next week. But thanks for everyone for hanging out. Remember, you can find us on Discord. We're very active on Discord. A lot of times, Brian and I at night will just hop in there, play the game, and hang out with anyone who wants to hang out. So if you want to talk to us kind of in private-ish, come join the Discord, join the Patreon. You can also join the Patreon for free. We do release stuff to free members. If you want to play the builds, though, you got to sub at the $5 thing. But yeah, this is early. We're about 3 to 4 months in. We got a lot of work to do. But if you guys want to help direct the direction of this game, get involved now. I think you could ask the people that are already involved if we're actually listening to them, and I think they would tell you we are. It's not just talk that we want you to get involved. We actually do, because we think it'll make a better game that way. So get involved, hang out with us, Patreon, Discord, follow us anywhere, Crank the Game everywhere, YouTube, all that stuff. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks, Brian, for moderating the stream again.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, Zach. And if anyone else, any final words? Other than that, I think we're good to go.
Thank you,
Later, guys.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
The awkward 10 seconds where we say bye and then I have to click all the buttons. All right.
It's like